Does your mother-in-law leave a bad taste in your mouth? Or yours, you vaccinate your mother-in-law.
Against cancer, so that she can be fresher for longer. Not eating human. Don't worry about it, though.
We're all happy together. Yay for LGBT. I used to fall asleep listening to Rammstein. It was when I was on the submarines, and because you'd have like machinery going and there'd be different noises, I needed something to drown it out. Man, gegen man.
You know what's funny though? You say that you fell asleep to Rammstein. So did a lot of women apparently.
I don't know this story. You missed it. It was great.
Were you here when he was defending the Chinese government?
Oh, I caught a little bit at the end.
Okay,
Not
There is something
vehemently
to be said.
defending.
There is something to be said about of being able to just go, "You're doing it."
Yeah.
It's just,
And then people go, okay.
okay,
Dude, I'm not saying.
let's do it.
I'm not saying
I mean, I think HS2 would be finished by now if it was
it
the
would be,
Chinese
wouldn't it?
government.
It might fall apart.
No, I mean, they're doing it pretty good. They do have, like, bullet trains over in China.
Yeah, well, I mean, like everyone seems to have bullet trains but us now at this point. It's embarrassing, and we're going like, check out HS2, check out HS2, and everyone's like,
But that's because British people go, if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Yeah.
And then people say, but it is broke.
Yeah,
it is very broke.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
doesn't
well,
work.
well, I like it how it was.
But then when it takes the time,
I don't know why Rishi Sunak suddenly become Yorkshire.
That sounds like Rishi Sunak to me. I'm not going to question it at all.
yeah.
One thing I have noticed though with us Britons, man, we'll want something fixed. So when it gets to the point we want it fixed, but then we will bitch the whole time it's being fixed. Like if it gets in our way for a little bit, like all of Birmingham right now is pretty much having the tram done. I don't even saw it at all.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Did they not learn any lessons from Edinburgh?
Because
Because Edinburgh's tram system is several years overdue, millions of pounds overpriced, and
Is it
doesn't
there,
go
though?
as far as it should be going. They're like,
Well, how far does it have to go though? I imagine, is it one of them that goes like?
it was supposed to go like outskirts and all sorts of places. It was supposed to be a new tram system for a future Edinburgh. And what they've just got is this shit that's staying across the middle of the city.
What the hell does a future Edinburgh look like? I would love to know that.
Oh, future Edinburgh's got spaceports and
Well, and just like crackheads.
yeah.
collapsing
I
by
mean, it's
them.
still got crackheads.
Yeah.
We're
Oh,
not
yeah.
going to lose
Okay.
the crackheads. In fact, you can have even better drugs. So there's going to be whatever that is heads.
Imagine you got drugs over there that when you take them and make you look amazing. So the people on the street collapsing are like buff,
Oh,
like dude men, you
Yeah.
know, like muscles everywhere. The
like
women-
steroids mixed with crack.
yeah, wow.
Like
Just
Through a
steroids.
vape.
through a vape.
Wow.
Oh, we've come up with it. Now you just
Or
need
as
to
I
create
refer
it.
to them, douche flutes. So, plugs.
Yeah,
plug,
give me
plug.
the plugs as well.
Digitally, you can find me on Instagram as comedian_LongHu, LONGHU. On TikTok, I am longhu.comedian. There's various videos of me there. It's very eclectic. I do a bit of voice acting videos. I do parody songs and all sorts. The first video you find might not be the right one for you, but if you look through, there's going to be something that's going to make you giggle.
I do enjoy your songs. You're a fellow comedy song man. I appreciate that.
Yes, I
Very
love it,
much
love
so.
it. And not the kind of songs you expect. You don't expect a Puffin Heels to do a she shanty.
You've not been to the bars that I've been to, because I do expect that.
Fair enough. We need to go drinking. Yes, also anyone that's going up to the Edinburgh Fringe, I will be performing pretty much every night at 10:30 p.m. at Paradise Green in a show called Absolute Burlesque and Cabaret. I am not taking my clothes on. I will be the compere, so you don't have to worry about seeing this flashing the flesh. Also, yeah, ooh, no, it's like a carrier bag full of vomit.
Carry a bag full of mango pulp.
Yeah, it's not pretty. And also, I'm doing a couple of mixed bill cabaret shows. They're called Super Bill Cabarets, where I'm doing part of my show, LongHu, My Husband is a Communist, Biteco in Edinburgh. And then, yes, hopefully after Edinburgh, I will come back down and realise I need to get a job. And we'll see what we do. So
I've discovered something. I don't know if they have it in China. Probably not, considering it's like a very I don't know best way, like it's a closed off internet, isn't it, in China?
Oh yeah, you can't see certain websites, but it's not like closed.
I mean,
it's not like North Korea closed.
Yeah, it's not that segregated.
Yeah. Okay. What was I going to say then?
You can use others, but there are certain websites that, unless you have access to a virtual proxy network, you
is that all you need?
Yeah, you just need one of
that's
those.
simple. We used to do that in school.
Yeah, you just need to.
That was like a more
But if
like
you get
unknown thing
caught
back then too.
making VPNs and selling them, you're going to be in trouble.
But surely there's loads. That's technically the same here, unless it's a legal one. No, they're legal here in general, aren't they?
They're completely legal.
I think the UK government wouldn't know what to do with them.
No, they're barely understanding loot boxes, and that was like 10 years ago.
They can't even understand electric scooters.
No.
Are they legal? No.
Even
Well,
though
the council's providing them, but they're not. But they are. But
don't
they're not.
ride them on the road. Well, can I ride them on the bus? No. You must ride them on the curb.
It's really
Balanced
strange.
on the edge,
Yes.
like a unicycle on a tightrope.
It's really strange because most of the old people in the government have to use motorised scooters.
Yeah.
So, you know. But yeah, it's very weird, the government in general, though. That's what I was going to say. I don't know if you'd be able to get on it in that case then in China, but I've been figuring out the dark web.
Oh, the
Yeah.
Tor and shit.
Isn't
on
dark
dark
web
web
just page 2 of Google?
There's
Nobody goes to page 2 of Google.
There's 3 levels of the internet. There's the mainstream internet,
Yeah.
the light internet, or it's called something else maybe, I don't know. But
It's like
Well, that's where Pornhub sits. Yeah.
no, that's on the mainstream one. The mainstream is all the stuff you generally see.
Yeah.
The light one is where you got like your intranets and all that.
Oh right,
Right.
yeah,
Like, yeah,
closed off
internet.
stuff, and sometimes you need access codes,
Yeah.
and sometimes
The dark web is a whole nother beast.
the dark web
Ah.
is technically illegal to access depending on.
No,
what
the
you're
dark
doing
web's legal.
it depends what part you're accessing.
The dark web and the website.
Because there are countries that it's illegal to have it. So if you access it there through the thing, then it's weird.
Oh, I don't know about other countries. I don't live there. I barely know the
I mean-
laws here.
Advice for your listeners might be: don't do anything interesting on the internet,
No, never
and
do
you
that.
don't have to worry.
Yeah.
I mean, I could say that.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be honest. I could tell them to make sure they only look at things that.
Well, this is
Well,
what we
actually,
were
I don't know
saying.
what on the internet
I mean,
would
well,
be illegal.
let's be
Right,
honest,
one
let's
of
be
the
honest.
things
Fine, it's all
that pissed
fine.
me off whilst I was living in China was the whole debacle we had over here about the 5G network.
Oh.
Because,
Huawei.
China has this thing, as I might have mentioned, they like money.
Yeah.
So they go to countries and they go, oh, that's a bit fucked. Can we build you some new stuff as long as you pay us? They went down to Africa. They said, your roads are bollocks.
Oh yeah. They literally
And-
made them roads.
And it was
Really?
like, yeah.
China did.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
But then used that to
They
sort of,
invested
like,
in the infrastructure. It's like,
That's
pay us some
smart.
money, we'll give you highways.
They
So
then
did.
also sort of took a load of the stuff out of the mines and stuff like that for building the stuff, but
Well,
they paid them
that's
for
fair.
that as
Yeah,
well. They
they're not
didn't
gonna
need
do
it
it.
for
They
free.
paid them
Like-
for it.
They
but
paid,
yeah.
unlike
they
the
built the
British, where we
industry.
just took
Yeah,
it and
we
went,
have just taken.
no gold, no,
Yeah.
no.
And to the point where we
haven't got-
even went to war with them to go like, you keep taking our heroin, motherfucker!
Yes, exactly.
The weird thing you notice more and more as you learn in history, the stuff that Britain does, like that kind of thing.
Oh, God, we have
we're
done
the bad guys.
terrible
Us in
work.
America.
We are the empire in Star Wars.
Yeah,
Yes.
we are.
It's like that Mitchell and Webb sketch where it's like, hang on, are we the bad guys? Yes,
Yes.
we are.
Yeah, we are, man. Like, I swear I've heard that before. People talking about doing a sketch of like, I think I've seen it in the Death Star and that. There's like people having a laugh in the cafeteria and that. I swear I've seen that sketch.
Well, I think
we are that
this
sketch.
this one was Mitchell and Webb, and they were dressed as Nazis.
I don't
And they
know.
were like,
Oh, okay,
are we the bad guys because
yeah.
we've got
We've got
skulls?
skulls
And I mean, this doesn't look good. It's like, I don't know, maybe
it's
we are.
representing pure Aryan skull shape. But even that's best represented with the skin still on. That's one of my favourite lines.
He's not wrong, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah,
he's not.
I mean, you look at pretty much all the internet. If it hasn't been Britain that's cocked it up, it's America that's cocked it up. Because
Or France. France
did
have had a go. Don't
we
get
did
me wrong.
Pakistan and India. That's us. Because we're right. You Muslims go there, and you Indian people go there, and we'll just draw a line, and we go like, yeah, that's not really how you leave a country in one good piece. Then there was
talking about
Rwanda,
That was fun.
which
That
is
was
knackered,
cool.
and now
When you
we
go in
haven't left Rwanda alone. That's where we're sending the immigrants.
Oh, yeah.
Because
Yeah, I've heard a lot of
Suella Braverman, Suella Braverman, if she can't deport you, no evil thing can. Fuck,
Oh,
you know.
God, she is just the fucking devil incarnate.
Exactly. She makes Priti Patel look nice.
I know! I can't remember the day where I was like, oh, Priti Patel, the most evil woman who exists, and then it's like, oh, no, they've leveled up. Fuck me!
She has
And they've
digivolved.
taken away the hotness. I can't even have an anger wank. What's this about?
Have a what?
I can't even have an anger wank.
Oh, an anger wank.
Yeah.
Why?
Oh, I started those with, what's her face?
Was it the Alaskan woman?
Yes.
Oh, God, what's her
Sarah
name?
Palin.
Sarah Palin.
Oh, is this just another American governor person one about one?
Oh, she
American
was the
politician?
running mate alongside John McCain.
Yeah.
No, I mean Sarah
The
Palin,
chip bloke.
Yeah.
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 It's hard to keep up with the names, man. They always just seem to be crap either way. All the government people. It's
Yeah.
hard to keep track of these people.
Yeah.
You're saying these names, and I was like, I don't know who these people are.
Yeah, they are.
Well, they
ultimately-
had this president recently who was horrible. It was called Trump. I
Yeah.
don't know if it rings any
No,
bells.
I don't think so. No, it might do as we go on.
He was.
Maybe.
He basically looked like a what's it that had been shoved up a blonde cat's ass. You know. Yeah.
Okay, I got the image. Okay, I can see it.
And he was the greatest. And it was the Chinese babies. Fucking knobhead.
I knew Trump, like, honestly, like, I knew Trump, like, way earlier, like, because I'm a big wrestling fan. I think I mentioned it earlier.
Yeah.
And he was on wrestling, like, years and years before, doing a match against Vince McMahon, billionaire against billionaire.
It was.
Was that before the first time he went bankrupt or the second time?
Oh, that's like
or-
that's probably like the fourth time by that.
Yeah.
point.
Yeah,
Like,
he obviously
that dude
needed the
makes
money.
money by bankrupting things. That's one of the most amazing things I've found out about that dude. It's just like he goes, "Hey, look, there's a business over there. It's falling apart. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to buy it up. I'm going to sell it, and then you don't have to pay taxes. Okay." So it's just buying fucking people's stock and selling it without having to tax it.
Is that because he's a
That's
ex-president?
literally the way he made all of his money.
Yeah.
And everyone's like, oh, he's this genius businessman. He's not. He's a fucking idiot. He just
Yeah.
happens to use a tax loophole. Anyone can use a tax loophole.
Well, hold on, no,
Fucking,
I-
what's his
what-
face? Jacob Rees-Mogg can
well.
use a fucking tax loophole.
You
And
can't
he's
argue.
still on
Well-
his nanny's titty.
You
in
can't moan at the
Victorian
man.
London.
You can't moan at the man for finding the loophole. That's fair.
Oh, no, you
you
can't.
find a
Hey,
Close
if-
the
if-
loopholes.
We all moaned when Jimmy Carr found a loophole, so
Yeah.
we can moan
I
when
didn't.
Trump found a loophole.
I don't think Jimmy Carr found a loophole because I'm pretty sure he had to pay back. Like, that wasn't a loophole.
Yeah, but the thing is,
Well,
it's-
he- straight up breaking
he
the crime.
paid it back because he got called out for it, but
Yeah.
it was a loophole that he found, and technically he could have got a kind of away with it.
Oh, but he just
Could have got away with it if it wasn't for you damn HMRC.
But I mean, the thing is, like, there's an actual bit at one point during the fucking David Cameron administration where George Osborne, the fucking chancellor at the time,
Oh, I got it
he's
right.
literally on an interview and he goes like, well, you know, if you don't want to pay taxes, there's certain places where you can place your money where you don't have to pay the interest on it and things like that. You're literally saying go and use a fucking an offshore
Like an
bank.
offshore bank.
Yeah.
You're literally saying that's a good way of dealing with your money.
And
You
it's-
absolute shit stick.
Oh,
It's
it's not
all
illegal.
these different companies like, please come and fill our country full of Starbucks and things. Do you have to pay tax? No, don't have to pay tax. We're too busy fucking the common man for taxes now.
Yeah. I mean, how much
Did
do
you know,
Yeah.
right, did you know, this one blew my mind, right. When you earn money, you pay income tax.
Yes.
Do you also know that you have to repay income tax when you take that money out as your pension?
Jesus
You
Christ.
pay tax on your pension. I came
That's
back. My dad
insane.
is now at pensionable age, so he's starting to pull his pension. And he has to pay tax.
That's
on his
crazy.
pension.
He's already paid that tax.
Yeah,
Apparently,
paying for money.
once was not enough. He needed to be double
And then
fat.
when he dies, you'll tax it again.
It seems like have you like checked out whether that's like an actual thing, like a law, like that you have to do, you know, or is this a mistake?
No, this is just the way the law
it's
is
how
written.
it is.
That's craziness.
You
that
get
makes
taxed
no
on
sense.
all your earnings. Yeah.
Yeah, but literally, like you said, that's already it came from.
This is
money
why
that
I
had been
wonder
taxed
what's
once.
going to happen with cryptocurrency, because
Yeah.
it's like just as with money is now. Because it used to be like if you read like the money, it's like this is a bearer bonds to give the owner the value of 10 sterling pounds of something.
Oh yeah,
Forgot to do that.
the clap. You've got to clap.
Oh right.
Yeah, bad.
Mid-show clap. It's fine.
So it was like the bearer of this is owed £10 sterling and whatever that was, and that used to be like a chunk of gold, because obviously you can't just knock off like £10 worth of gold and carry it around. You've got a note.
Yeah,
But then it got to such levels that it didn't really mean anything, and it got
I
to
know.
digital transfers.
The fiat system and all that kind of stuff.
But now
versus-
you've got cryptocurrency, which is the new currency,
Yeah.
where it's all like, it's strings of codes and ones and zeros, and what does it mean? It's like, yeah, but money hasn't really meant anything for a long fucking
Yeah, money
time
doesn't
anyway.
mean anything. It's
No.
all of it's just a construct. It's just the next construct.
Yeah.
Everything. All
So-
the
Cryptocurrency in itself
How
is
long is
inherent.
it going to be before the British government realizes, ooh, how do we tax crypto?
Oh, it's
Oh,
already,
they'll do it.
No,
They'll find a way.
they've already started cracking down. They're not thinking about taxing it. What they're thinking is how they're going about it is, well, we have the old way, general money, and we like that because we can tax it. It's easier to all that stuff. So we'll just stop the banks from allowing you to buy Bitcoin, because if you can't buy it,
Yeah.
Yeah, but
They-
then you have all of these new banks that pop up. Like,
yeah.
Like you've got
There's still some to take it.
Monzo
and,
I use Revolut. That's a really
Lloyd's
good
still
one.
take it, and my bank take it still.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can order whatever I want.
Yeah, and I mean,
Not that I
it's-
would.
It's brilliant, and it's decentralized, and because I mean, obviously, with this centralized banking, that's what had our first recession, which was back in 2007.
Yeah.
The same time I left the military. I left the military due to having a nervous breakdown and find myself in recession Britain.
Yeah.
Yay!
Oh, God,
And
that's a
no
great
money, and yeah, it was like really bad.
I
Get
hate-
to 2014, it's still bad,
Yeah.
and then think I'll move away, and then come back and it's still knackered after 8 years.
No, it never
And
gets
it's just
better.
like, no.
Yeah,
Never
literally
gets better.
nothing's changed like the whole time.
There's a really poisonous culture in this country, especially, and it will not go away until something very big happens.
I don't know what it would
And
be.
it is this obsession with tradition over everything else, tradition over this and this
Yeah.
and that and that and that.
keeping
they don't want
calm
to
and
elevate.
nepotism.
Yeah, and they don't want to elevate. They don't want to do anything different. They just want
Yeah.
things to be exactly as they
Wanna
were
carry on?
before. But I want to have more money in my pocket, and it doesn't matter where it comes from anyone else's.
Yeah.
Now
That's why we had a bloke that provided PPE and who had no idea what PPE stood for.
Yeah.
We had another tit providing ferries to Europe, but he didn't have any ferries, but he was mates with the bloke that was in the government.
So he'll figure it out. Just give him the money. Yeah. It's
Oh,
a joke. It's a joke. No, this is genuinely how it works. And we've talked at one point. There's an old Kill Them Comedy podcast, actually, where I talk about the Great British Weed Conspiracy.
Oh, yeah.
Because,
Yeah.
like, well,
Politics
I
is
don't know
an
what
endless-
your standing is on it, but I personally found it to be very
Normally
helpful.
when I take weed, I have to lie down.
Yeah. I found it very, very helpful for sort of various sort of depressive points in my life, including university, all these other things afterwards, and not having a job and feeling like a piece of shit, all this kind of stuff. And then I think without it, I don't think I would have actually got to the point where I was making myself better by starting to go to the gym and getting all work
Yeah,
and all
it
this kind of
helps.
stuff. It was
It really always does,
genuinely
it's a little pick-me-up.
helpful.
It gives you more, what's the word, like, how you're thinking, you know.
Clarity.
Yeah.
Clarity,
Yeah. The thing is, if you're
that's definitely
constantly, struck by
Okay,
anxiety.
so some people have recently smoked weed. One person hasn't, and I'm the one that's clarity. Is that the
Yeah.
word you're looking for?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is, maybe.
It does take away the ability to talk.
Oh,
like,
Think
memory
and
becomes an
remember
issue.
words.
Memory
Yeah,
becomes
yeah.
an issue. But
That's more the
I've had
drinking,
2
mate.
nervous breakdowns. My memory's knackered.
yeah, I just found it really useful for like anxiety and all that kind of stuff to allow me to sort of just go out
Well,
and
you've got
function.
this stuff like is it not TCP or
Oh, CBD.
THC.
CPD?
CBD.
CBD.
CBD doesn't.
I still think that's the type of
really
radio.
quite as cut it. It's pretty good, but it doesn't cut it all.
So
It just
I
doesn't
have
get you high, that's all.
yeah.
neighbours that drink. They have like CBD
Oh, cans and
cans,
things.
cans of fizzy
yeah.
pop, and I'm
Yeah,
like, what? You just have it in a can? It's
Oh,
like, weird.
Let's be honest, though, CBD is really good. Like, if you're somebody that doesn't want to,
Doesn't want to get high.
yeah. We've always talked. All stoners have always said about how. It's
Well, I
like a wonder
suffer
drug.
from anxiety, so I mean,
It will
it's
help.
probably
CBD would
something
be
that
fantastic for
suffer
that.
from anxiety, and then decided, oh, do you know what? I'll be a stand-up comedian.
Oh, that's the best. That's same.
Yeah.
100% same.
Most people that
Because then
just-
it's controllable. It's like I control this anxiety. I know what's
no,
happening.
no, I go on stage and explode and rage. And
I have more like proper like social anxiety, which is why people like I hate being surrounded by crowds and stuff. That's why I wanted to come on the end here because I didn't want to be pushed in there, you know.
Yeah.
But yet, I feel so much more comfortable on stage.
Yeah.
So I'm in front of everyone.
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
That's.
But-
Oh, everyone else
Is-
beneath
is
me,
it-
which feels normal.
Is it God, is it because you're more comfortable talking at people than talking to people?
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Because that's what I found.
Yeah, 100%.
I can
don't
find
know,
it a lot
'cause-
easier performing at a crowd
yeah.
than
Individual
performing to.
conversations with someone I don't really know that well can be fucking excruciating.
That's why
See,
I
I
hate
really
those.
like doing it though, from podcasts. Like, I really like doing conversations with people I don't
Yeah.
know too well, you know.
Well, I started comedy to improve my self-esteem because, like, I growing up, my actual name being Nicholas or Nick, and then having, well, basically being gay and not realizing till I was 19.
Yeah.
Everyone else fucking realised whilst I was at school and kept telling me. And yeah, so my self-esteem was in the gutter. And then I discovered, well, I started in the Army Cadets.
Right.
So I was in the Norfolk Army Cadets and the Infantry Regiment, Britannia Company.
So you were right from the off. You were always sort of aiming for that path.
Well, no, it was just sort of, it was something to a social activity, and I started doing that, and then I got to a rank where I had to teach the other cadets to march. So you'd shout marching orders at them, and they'd listen, and I was like, wow,
That's nice.
that's never happened before. I have a thing to say, and people listen to me. And then after that, I discovered karaoke.
Oh, karaoke. Yeah, same. That was a big thing. for
That
me.
was a big thing to build because you could go into a bar, and I like, so in China they have KTVs, which is like you're a small room with your mates, and you sing karaoke. I don't like that.
Yeah, no, I know it sounds funny, but I've literally seen one in a computer game called Sleeping Dogs.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
that game.
don't like that
Yeah.
because you know these people, and if you cock up a song, it's like, ugh, no.
I
But
wouldn't think about
karaoke,
that at all.
karaoke. Well, that's because you don't suffer
tell you
from the same anxiety
What's
as
your
we do.
karaoke banger? What's the one you're ripping out?
Recently, it's been Adele's Skyfall.
Ooh, I like
Because
that.
I do a lower version. Adele sings quite low anyway, but I when the sky full, and you really give it a go, and it's great. But I mean, back then I learned quite quickly: deep voice, sing deep songs, or sing the song in a deep. So I'd sing "Gloria Gaynor's I Will Survive," but I'd like 2 octaves lower than she did it, and I found that performing when I was doing it, people would then come up to you and say, "Oh my God, that was really good," and you'd be like, "Oh right, okay, fucking whatever."
Weirdly,
Flag it off.
And eventually, though, it did start sinking in.
Yeah.
I think it's where I started doing sort of. I felt comfortable doing impressions in front of people and different voices.
Yeah.
Because I do the song as the person. So for the one I did for the most part was was what's it called?
Beat my dick.
No, it was Poison
I don't know.
by Alice Cooper.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
You're venomous poison.
You're poison, like that. You know, trying to sort of go up with the.
Oh, that was your karaoke song.
Yeah.
Sorry, I thought you were just doing impressions of Alice Cooper.
That's what I was doing.
Walking around the street going, "Yeah, pie there."
Yeah,
My karaoke is always an Eminem song.
Yeah.
Oh
But
my God.
I'd sort
White
of,
men rapping. No.
Yeah. I'd
That
start.
was a white man rapping, though.
It,
Eminem is a white man.
but
Whenever you go to karaoke and you see a bunch of drunk white men trying to do a rap song, it always sounds like.
Yeah, it doesn't really work too well when you're drunk. I've learned that.
But weirdly, like I went from that and I started realizing that honestly I don't actually have a particularly good like rocky voice, which is annoying because I love rock music and I love metal music and all that kind of stuff.
I used to fall asleep listening to Rammstein.
That's a good. I went to see Rammstein in Coventry.
Well, it was the only thing. It was when I was on the submarines, and because you'd have like machinery going and there'd be different noises, I needed something to drown it out, but also have a steady beat. So I'd just be like that, man, giggle, man.
You know what's funny though? You say that you fell asleep to Rammstein. So did a lot of women apparently.
Oh God.
I don't know this story.
No, there's a whole thing going on with them, and
it's been kind of. Have you seen now? The lead singer Till Lindemann was done for like. Well, there's a lot of people saying that he like drugged them and like sexually assaulted them. And
this
that.
is one of those.
It's been pretty much kind of squashed. It's
been pretty much squashed.
Has it been squashed because he has better lawyers, or has it been squashed because it wasn't true?
It seems to have been squashed by a load of fans going like, "No, I was genuinely there on that night. That's bullshit."
Yeah, it seems like the main.
Whether
the woman that came out
absolves them of like everything that people have ever said about them, I don't know, but I don't know what other people
There
say.
might think
I
people
don't
are
think
saying
anyone
about it.
is a true saint. Everyone's going to have.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You wouldn't want Rammstein to be
Skeletons.
a saint anyway.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, I mean, wasn't there one? Well, it was a live show where he pulled out a prosthetic penis and pissed on the crowd. It was like, when this guy's urinating on you in a live show, I mean, you're probably going to expect.
Just be glad it's a number one, not a number 2 or number 3. Yeah. That's what you
Oh,
want.
I think that was for the Tricky second album.
Yeah, I honestly, they've probably done them all. Like, really. I would be shocked if not.
Yeah. Oh, when I went to see him in Coventry, at one point, and I saw this the following day, they had about 20 different calls that the arena was on fire. Because they were just launching flames up into the air.
So my friend went to, I don't know if it was Coventry or Cardiff.
Yeah.
I think she went to the one in Cardiff.
Yeah.
She's a fellow comedian. I don't know if you heard of Lizzie Lenko.
That name sounds familiar.
That does sound familiar.
So she'll actually be up in Edinburgh. She's been doing. But she had a car accident and brain injury, and obviously that's affected her in ways. But she's still a goth rock chick. So she went to the Rammstein show in Cardiff, and I think again there was like fire and services turning up.
Yeah, it's
like, the stadium's on fire.
Yeah.
It's like no.
No, don't worry. It's just the Germans. It's fine.
My brethren, homies.
The Germans are coming.
Germans are weird people. They are exceptionally weird people, though.
Oh, they are.
Germans.
Yeah.
That's so weird. Like they're really into shit.
I mean, not sort of. I mean, there's weirder cultures,
Well, there's always weird.
but not by much. Not by much.
Like you were talking. There's always weirder. For example, like you were talking earlier about the Federation of the Star Trek Federation.
Well, so just before you do that, so you're talking about weird things in the different cultures.
Yeah.
Different cultures, right? So you missed this bit, but do you know how to say awesome in Chinese?
No.
So awesome is this. Now you might have seen surfers doing this and scuba divers doing this. It's hang 10, yeah?
Or the rock.
That is the number 6 in China. Because they count differently. They go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then 10.
Oh.
So that, you shake your hand and you go 666.
Oh,
wow.
That's how you say awesome in China. If something's like, dude, epic, 666.
Holy shit, that's awesome.
That's literally how it's. And even on Chinese, you'll have like people on websites going like, liu, 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 666. It's amazing, epic. They even have emojis where there's people just going, with 666 going across. And,
I kind of love it.
And it's just because obviously they ain't a Christian country, so they don't have that reference.
they
It
have
doesn't
bullshit.
mean anything over there.
So that's just random as well, then.
Yeah, it's completely random. Like how the different things are. Yeah, then
assumed it was part of
it's
it.
not a country full of devil worshippers. Just Chinese people go like, dude, yeah.
I know they didn't get by Christianity, but I assumed that was part of it. Like,
No. Literally,
yeah.
666 doesn't mean anything in China, so it became epic because it's the same hand movement that you see like surfers do. I don't know if they got it from surfers
That's like
but
the
it's
slang
definitely in
thing,
like
yeah.
modern China, like 666.
Yeah, it's like the slang thing then. Yeah. Okay, that makes more sense, yeah. It's surprising though.
So anyway, you were talking about Star Trek.
Yeah.
Sorry,
yeah.
I just had to get in there quickly.
You probably expecting I was going to insult you for being a Trekkie, and I will do that at some point.
And I'll give you a welcome mind pinch.
I was thinking Scientologists literally believe that, basically. That's what they believe.
What, in Star
Essentially.
Trek?
No,
I thought they believed that the mothership was going to come down and rescue
but they
them all.
believe-
Have you ever seen the South Park episode that explains it?
Yeah.
No.
Oh, it's
No.
beautiful.
'Cause
Right,
South
so
Park is currently banned in China.
Oh right, you see, I can
does
explain
surprise
it pretty easily now, which is lovely because of South Park. So check out that episode. Basically, they believe that the universe has been in control of an intergalactic sort of community controlled by an evil Lord Xenu. Right,
Yeah.
for over 1 trillion years.
He
Bear
looks
in
like the
mind,
guy from
the
Futurama.
universe not that old.
Right.
He looks like the slime monster from Futurama.
Yeah. And
Oh,
basically,
Slurm, the slugs, yeah.
he got all of his enemies, his prisoners, and he took them to Earth and froze them and then melted them into the volcanoes. And then all of their spirits came up and he put soul catchers in the sky to stop these spirits escaping. And those spirits stayed on Earth, and they are the reason why you're so upset and depressed and unhappy.
Yeah.
And they are called Thetans.
Yeah. But I think the volcano.
So this is
did
genuine
accident.
Scientology
This
belief,
is genuine
right?
Scientology.
Yeah.
So they
And bear in
believe
mind, they have to-
depression is caused by
Alien
Thetans.
souls.
Yeah.
Thetans.
Alien souls.
Just so you know as well.
So
they-
we haven't evolved from the trapped alien
No.
souls.
We were on Earth already as
Oh, we-
apes.
we
then
were
they-
just there.
Yeah, and they just
Like-
latched onto us. Yeah.
And then this slug guy comes down, slams some evil spirits in a volcano.
Yeah.
We're all like, what the fuck? Yeah.
And you have to pay like so much money to get to the point where you know about this part. Before that episode was put out on South Park,
Yeah.
it was a lot. Or even
That was like level 3 knowledge. Like,
yeah, you have to pay to go up each level.
Yeah.
That's why it's like a religion of rich people and that in it.
Yeah.
But even after South Park, though, apparently a lot of them are so like into it that they've ignored it still.
Yeah.
So there was other stuff as well, though, wasn't there? Like what happened after that?
Oh,
With
what
the-
with Scientology? There's
Yeah.
been loads. I mean, there's been the Louis Theroux stuff. There's been people
Oh,
who've
right.
left
Cruise.
and then talked about the Sea Org. Oh my God, the Sea Org is weird. So the Sea Org is the moving capital, essentially, of Scientology. Because it's a ship that's going out there in international waters, just zooming about, and like David Miscavige, the guy who runs it, is sitting on there. A load of like people who are considered like the best people of Scientology are on there as well. And then there's a load of
Hang on,
like,
I've heard this in a Moonraker.
yeah, it's a lot like Moonraker. It's a lot like Moonraker, except with more paedophilia. And then there's this.
Well, you don't know.
You don't know. I mean, to be
Well,
fair,
What happened to Jaws for him to need metal teeth in the first place?
Fair point. Fair point.
yeah.
The
I
question
mean,
there,
that's a
don't
lot
answer.
of priest cock. That's
Yeah.
That poor man.
Oh, you don't know. He might have been the priest. You don't know.
well,
He
I
might
don't
have been
think
part of-
priests normally take cock.
no.
They normally give on to thee.
Yeah.
I don't think they're picky, personally. I don't think they're picky. I think all they want is a body of Christ. and
Oh,
they're
I
happy.
think priests are picky. They
Yeah.
pick the quiet ones.
Well, you know what they say.
The ones
You know
that
what?
won't talk.
They
You know what
pick
they
the
say?
specific-
Spare the rod, spoil the child. Anyway, so yeah, that was sort of that's that level, and then underneath it, there's basically a group of people who get paid no money and live on the Sea Org and basically do everything that they're told. They're the sort of
I've never
the
heard of this thing
ultimate
before.
cultists of the Scientology faith.
The minions.
Yeah, they do everything. There's only like a couple of people who've come off the Sea Org and then sort of spilled the beans about what it's like. And the main reason why the Sea Org originally existed is because L. Ron Hubbard, the guy who wrote a shitload of science fiction books and then went, I've got this science fiction based religion, everyone believe me. Right?
He was literally a science fiction writer.
He was so into screwing little boys that he had to leave America, get onto a boat and just stay in open waters where the American government wouldn't get him.
I did not know that.
That is the reason why the Sea Org exists.
I did not know any of that.
Wow.
Yep.
I mean, it doesn't surprise.
But, you know, it's all funny because Tom Cruise is like...
Yeah, but I do think if there's any future pandemic viruses, probably should be looking at the Sea Org.
Probably,
Maybe don't blame China. Maybe Scientologists are really racist and they were trying to wipe out China.
Yeah, they're planning some shit.
Scientologists are definitely racist. They're racist against everyone, like even white people too.
Yeah.
They're just racist against Scientologists.
Oh yeah,
They're racist against everyone.
They just don't like
everybody's a
anyone.
little bit
Scientology.
racist sometimes.
What was that word you said earlier that is for religions?
Sectarianism.
Yeah, they're sectarious. That's what they are.
Sectarious.
The
That sounds like it's a good
sectarious.
thing. I am sectarious.
It does, but it's not.
No, I thought that was a job title. It's like, oh, yes, I'm a sectarian. I've got to do all the invoices.
Some of the people in religion, that is a job title.
Yeah.
I'm going to run for a wee. I'm trying to find where I put my beer.
He's going to piss him, Sen.
There it is, okay.
Don't piss you, Sen.
I'm a bit worried. He says, I'm going for a wee. I can't find me bottle.
By the way, so Stoke.
Yes.
You're living in Stoke.
I'm living in Stoke.
That's where I went to uni, dear boy.
Good for you.
Yeah.
I didn't go to uni. I joined the military instead.
Oh, I fucked about with
I-
silly little 3D things. It was fun.
Basically, my family came from Stoke or Staffordshire, but I never actually lived there. I grew up in like London and Oldham and Norfolk and Glasgow and China, and then when we came back, obviously I came back to do comedy because you know. Everyone, I have dreams of being a successful comedian. Everybody love me, but no.
No one does.
But I last year I did the UK comedy scene wrong.
Right.
I thought what you're supposed to do is go everywhere, like once or twice, and then all of a sudden you'll be viral. Your name will be out there and it'll spread like an itch. No, you're supposed to focus on one place and expand from there. That's what I found, because you've got to build rapport.
I agree in some ways, but I disagree in others. My main thing is.
Well, please tell me how to become famous.
My main
don't
thing
have
is
a job.
Yeah, no, I've got one and it's terrible. Don't get one.
Well, I am considering maybe going into radio if the AI robots don't take those jobs from
Oh,
us.
they're definitely coming.
They're coming.
They're coming. But
I
no,
want
I
your
think
boots, your
my-
motorcycle, and your career.
Yeah. My original plan, like when I first went into comedy, was obviously just to sort of see what happened and see if I could enjoy it.
Suck it and see, yeah.
Yeah. But then as it went along, I started sort of listening to more podcasts of other comedians talking about it. And there are a lot of comedians out there who I really respect, like especially American comedians. That's my vibe.
Well, that's it. The American comedy scene is worlds apart from the UK comedy.
Yeah, it's so advanced.
You can do like 4 open mics in a single night.
Yeah. I did an open mic in New York once, and it was 2 minutes. That's what you got.
Yeah.
And then everyone just like migrated to the next bar and next bar and next bar.
I kind of want to do that.
How
like,
good
just
does that sound?
Do a comedy crawl.
I've genuinely considered doing it because I've got an aunt and uncle who've got a place in New York, and I've considered when everyone else goes to Edinburgh at one point, I'm just going to go to New York and just do nights constantly and just see what that's like instead.
That might be interesting. I wonder how they would take LongHu, the character.
I'm sure they'd love it, mate.
High heels and
I'm
aggressively
sure
masculine. Just
they-
get and say, "Ni hao, bitches! How the fuck are we tonight?"
They'd fucking love it. They love
I
my
think they'd
stuff as
shoot
well.
me.
No, it's anything like new and interesting, especially alternate stuff, is so big.
Yeah.
So big.
Well, so as I say, I started comedy in China, and we once had someone quite alternative.
Yeah.
We had a woman who came in with hand sanitizer attached to a hat, and she basically did a 10-minute set about being hand sanitizer, and everyone in the audience was just like, "What the fuck is this?" The problem is she'd came with the headliner over from Shanghai, and he insisted that she came too. And we were like, maybe next time we won't let you pick. But yeah, because he was brilliant, but she was god awful.
I mean that, but as I say,
And I don't want to.
Yeah,
she was god awful.
She
Not
was.
just because she was a woman, because there were brilliant
there are
female
fantastic
comedians.
ones. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, but
My
Nobody was
favourite
thinking
comedian
that.
is Victoria Wood.
oh, fantastic.
She was amazing, wasn't it? I just loved that. I think that was one of the things that inspired my style was like Victoria Wood's and
Bombastic.
well the ballad of Frida and Barry,
Yeah.
Barry and Frida.
Yeah.
Wasn't it? Oh, they're
Some of
so
her songs
beautiful.
are fantastic as well. Just
'Cause I used to
unbelievably
watch
good.
them with like my mum and Jasper Carrot.
Oh my God, Jasper Carrot back in the day, mate.
And I would be giggling so hard
Yeah.
that my stomach would be cramping.
yeah.
Just
And I
Barry's a
remember that.
magician.
No, that's
Comedian,
Bobby
mate.
Daniels.
Yeah. They look very similar.
like
they look almost identical.
I like how
It's
you
just
knew
the bird
exactly
not
who I
being
was
on his arm.
confusing it
Because
with.
So
I like
Jasper
that.
Carrot does things like he does this thing where he looks to his son and says, "There's something very special, and it's growing inside of you, and soon it's going to be sprouting out of your face."
yeah.
Wow.
yeah.
And he does funky moped.
Yeah, before I forget though, so a lot of these comedians basically just said originally, you know, it'll take you about 10 years to become properly good at comedy. You know, you've got to dedicate yourself.
2
to
more
that.
years.
Yeah, nice.
Right.
Well,
Nice.
does it
Wow.
matter though? Because 8 of those years weren't in this country.
Oh no. No.
I was surprised.
Absolutely not.
I was
'Cause,
surprised there
there's-
was a comedy scene over there, but if there was a comedy scene, then
Oh,
no.
no, yeah.
Well,
there
that's
is
the
that.
thing is there's so many expats in China,
Yeah.
and you've got the Chinese people that want to get better at English, so they go and watch the comedy scenes. We've got Chinese people that want to get better at speaking, so they perform comedy, and it's a beautiful mash. But it's so international,
makes
so you
sense how
have
big
to
it
have jokes that include everyone.
Yeah.
So
I bet that's a good writing exercise.
Yeah,
yeah, we
sort
had
of
making
Canadians.
them
I've got
accessible.
jokes about Russians.
Yeah.
This was before the war. I said. So this
I mean,
this
the
was a
war's been
joke.
going on for like 100 years, technically.
This was a joke that was before the Ukrainian conflict, but it was basically how I said that I loved Russians because they really helped me in China.
Yeah.
Because in China you keep getting telemarketing calls and they just talk to you in Chinese.
Yeah.
So what I used to do is reply to them in Russian,
Oh God.
and it freaked them out. So I'd have the telephone call and they'd be like, "Здравствуйте, товарищ, как дела?" And they'd be like, "Oh, hello, do you speak Chinese?" And like, по-русски, мой баба може слана. And мой баба може слана basically means, I probably pronounced it terribly, and if anyone Russian is watching, I apologize, but it means my beaver can eat an elephant. And I just used to say that to Chinese telemarketers and they'd hang up and never call again. It was brilliant. So I was like, yeah, I love Russians. They help me get out of so many marketing calls. But the problem is I got to the stage in China that I learned enough Chinese that I'd understand like 1 or 2 words in a sentence.
Yeah.
And
That'd make me so paranoid.
well, this was the problem.
Well, not being
In
able to
China,
understand it. Yeah.
Just
a
like-
cup of coffee
Yeah.
is cafe.
All right.
Yeah. And a cup of tea is cha.
Yeah.
Okay. Now I had a telephone call about this person. It was like something Chinese, Jing Cha. Now I just ordered a Starbucks, so I'm like, 我不要茶，我要 cafe. I don't want tea. I want coffee. And he's like, no, Jing Cha. And I was like, no, cafe, Jing Cha, cafe. Jing Cha. And I'm having this childish argument. And I go to one of my colleagues, it's like, this guy keeps saying Jing Cha, and I don't want tea. He's like, no, Jing Cha means police.
Oh,
It was the fucking police who called me up. And I'm like, I don't want police, I want coffee.
a sentiment for the ages, I believe. I don't want police. I want coffee, goddammit.
So, yeah.
Oh,
Great
shit.
fun living abroad. It was brilliant.
Yeah, no, before I forget my point. And I think that I originally went into comedy with that idea of like, 10 years, I'll just enjoy doing it. I'll enjoy the process and all that kind of stuff. And sort of
The
after...
Zen way of doing comedy. Live and do it.
Holistic
and then-
comedy.
and then...
Comedy just occurs.
Oh, yeah. And at that
does.
point, I was sort of going around, and the way I was doing it was literally... I wasn't trying to sort of build up any particular following in an area. I was just I was just going from random place to random place in front of every different kind of audience, never doing the same audience twice for as long as possible.
But when you're saying place to place, how big a pool are
it'd
you
be
talking?
Oxford and then Sheffield and then.
Would you go?
Oh right, yeah. So it's quite a bit.
Manchester,
Because that's
yeah,
it. I did
Yeah.
Aberdeen. I did Brighton.
Yeah.
I mean, even in Aberdeenshire, last year I was the support act for Steve Hughes.
Oh, cool.
You know, the Australian comedian.
Yeah. I
Because
love
he
that
did
dude.
like a mini tour.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
So
Oh dear.
There was more to unpack there.
dear.
I remember Steve Hughes when he did the comedy gala.
Same.
Do you remember the comedy gala
Yeah.
where he does the bit about homophobia?
Yeah.
And he's like, I've got friends that are I just shouldn't
Yeah.
even bother trying to do an
Yeah,
Australian
yeah,
accent.
yeah.
I've got friends that are homophobic.
Yeah.
Oh, you're homophobic? Well, they shouldn't. Well, they are. And he talks about like how straight is the new gay because you want women that are soft and gentle. Brilliant.
Yeah.
Had me in stitches. He's like, straight, it's the new gay. And he's like, excellent. I'm giggling my fucking ass off. And he's like, all these new straight men because they used moisturizer. And it's like, and it was the ending line that got me every time, completely buckled. It's like, because they were tight it was like, because if I was to sleep with a guy, that's how I'd want him. Mint, crispy, tight like a lozenge. Just gone. And it was beautiful. So I thought, great, I'm doing a support act for Steve Hughes. It's going to be, basically, I was opening the show doing 20 minutes and then he was doing like his 45-minute slot. That is not Steve Hughes now.
Really?
Steve Hughes, because he was always a little bit about thought crimes and colonialism. And he's gone heavily into this. And
what the fuck
who
is
is
a
he
thought
blaming?
crime?
The LGBTs. It's the gays, the wokes. They're destroying everything. They're deciding what you can and cannot think. And da-da-da. And I'm his opening act. And I am, quite obviously, LGBT. I do say it quite a bit in my show.
Yeah.
The first show we did in Aberdeen, it was in Aberdeen, and there was a crowd, and there was a guy that wasn't making eye contact with me. Right. And I noticed he wasn't looking at me, and I thought, maybe there's like some social anxiety, maybe he's got autism, maybe I don't know. So I had a chat and he's just like nods but won't look at me. Right. And I thought, oh, maybe he's got like learning difficulties or something. And it's like, yeah. Steve Hughes comes on, instant eye contact, looking at him for the entire show, laughing his ass off. The reason he wouldn't look at me is because he was worried he'd catch the gay.
Well, it's easily doable.
And,
I've worried about that a few times. Yeah.
You know, it just happens like that.
You don't even know you've caught it from birth.
You can get tablets.
And at the end of the night, he goes up to Steve. He's like, dude, man, yeah, you said what we're thinking. And you're like, oh,
Jesus.
yeah. And I had 4 shows with Steve Hughes. And now, to be fair, Aberdeen was the one where it was most of his, dude, dark hard, yeah. But then there was other ones where it was like tours of village halls, and they were a lot better.
Yeah.
But it was still weird where it would be LongHu followed by Steve Hughes going, the gays are fucking everything up. They're making you the colonialism thought crime, and you're just like,
Exhibit A.
dude, I've just been on the fucking
I'm guessing it's not from like a hateful place in that case when that guy, if he's having you on though. Or
I mean,
do you
well,
know?
I don't think he would have chose me.
Yeah.
But yeah, I
It's
actually
such
was
a genuine show because I genuinely
got with
love
you
that
after.
bit. Again, that bit sticks in my head.
I
as
do
one of
as
the
well, and
funniest-
I will still watch that bit,
Yeah.
and I will still laugh because that was his views at the time. But unfortunately,
He's changed.
people do change. People change throughout time, and his views now do not really line up with mine.
Yeah, it's
And
a
it's a
shame
shame.
as well because censorship as well. Like, I can understand how somebody could. To be honest, I can understand how somebody would come about to that way of thinking, but I don't think it's true. I can understand. You know,
Well, it exists now.
Well,
think-
yeah,
I mean, like how
there is this thing.
Yeah.
Well, there was this thing of cancel culture. So something I've recently heard,
going away.
read. It's going away.
it's going
The
away.
next generation that are coming through are being a lot less. Oh God. So when I was at Edinburgh last year, I was hosting a burlesque show, as I mentioned. And one of the things was I'd do an opening mark and I'd go on stage and I'd be like, give a cheer if you're women, and the other women would go, yeah, and you give a cheer if you're men, yeah, and you give a cheer if you're women, yeah, you're safe because I'm gay. Give a cheer if you're men, yay, and it says you're safe because you're not Asian. And because LongHu married to a Chinese husband, I did talk about it, and at the end of one of the nights, I'd gone from that burlesque show because people go to burlesque shows for political correctness. Of course they do.
That's why I go.
And I went to my 1:00 show, and I had this person, who I would identify as female, but I didn't ask, come up to me and tell me that I was racist. And I was like, what? And she was like, that joke that you made. I was like, what joke? I've just done an hour's worth of burlesque off-the-cuff show. Like, you'll have to... The bit where you said you only sleep with Chinese men, that's fetishizing Asians. How dare you fetishize Asians? And I was like, I wasn't fetishizing it. It's like saying they're all the same thing. And I was like, do you know there's 56 different Chinese ethnicities? It's not just the Chinese. There's 56 different types of ethnicities within China that identify as Chinese, the country. There's 56 ethnicities. And she's like, doesn't matter. White person shouldn't be making that joke.
God, I hate that.
And I said, you do realise I'm married to a Chinese man. It doesn't matter. A white person should not be making that joke. And I was going, and annoyingly, half an hour later, I just realised, hang on, she's telling me what I can and cannot say. That's fucking fascism. Yeah. And she had bleach blonde hair. Bloody Aryan bitch.
I've got to tell you my burlesque story. I've got one burlesque
Okay.
story. Yeah, I was at a show. This is a completely opposite end of the spectrum.
I was
Very
wearing a kilt and there was a terrible wardrobe malfunction.
I went to a burlesque with my partner at the time. She was into it too, so I got a burlesque show afterwards.
Yeah, it was very nice. Yeah, I didn't get that. No, I was at the Latitude Festival.
Oh yeah.
It was a lovely festival, genuinely brilliant. I loved it.
One.
No, Latitude Festival. It's all like there's a poetry tent and a stand-up comedy tent,
that
and there's
sounds
like
cool, okay.
it's rad
I
as
will
fuck.
Go when they invite me.
Yes.
I've worked festivals. I don't want to have to pay to go to a festival.
Yeah.
I want to go and perform at a Download Festival just so I can go to Download for free.
Yeah, that'd be pretty
Big
cool.
metal one.
Well, I worked security at Rock Ness in the social tent.
Yeah.
And I had people come up to me, like lost and found, and people come up and say, I've lost my dignity. Have you found it? And I had one person come up and say, I've lost a kilo of gammon. Is there a kilo of gammon here? And you're like, you fucking moron.
The kilo of gammon was a lot.
Go back to your damp, muddy tent and piss off. Anyway, sorry, burlesque.
He might have lost a kilo
Of gammon.
gammon.
He sounds like the type.
Yeah, he might have done, you don't know. The other one, not so much.
The way you described him, I mean, that seems like a dude who'd lose gammon. I'm just saying.
A kilo of it?
Yeah, well,
That's a lot of gammon.
That's a lot of gammon to be losing.
Well,
That's big.
You're there for 5 days, you need a lot of gammon.
Yeah.
I know when I go, I took a lot of gammon.
Did you?
I had
Oh,
a fucking
fuck,
weird
hang
thing
on,
on
hang
it.
on. Yeah, it was you little
Yeah,
prick.
yeah.
Anyway, burlesque story.
So I'm at the Latitude Festival and there's a burlesque show and it's the first night and I'm pissed out my face and there's this woman there and she's the MC for the night and she's absolutely fucking fantastic. She's just hilarious and genuinely fucking brilliant at her craft, right?
Yeah.
And there's a break in it and I just go, fuck it, I'm going to do it. I just go, how do I compare thee to a summer's day? And she goes, what? I've never seen a tone change so quickly. She goes, do you just heckle me with Shakespeare?
I mean, if you're going to heckle, you've got to do it classily.
Recite the bard.
I mean, that does kind of... I was
not
going to
seen
say
it.
that reminds me of a story from my naval days, but it really doesn't. So basically, a long time ago, I was on the naval base, and there are LGBT in the military. Yeah. I got outed because somebody saw me out in public, and then when I went back to the submarine to do a shift, they were like, "Are you gay?" And I was like, "Yeah," and they're like, "Oh, right." 4 years before then, I would have been out the Navy. I don't know if you
wow.
knew that. And it was only up to the year 2000 that it was legal to be gay or lesbian in the forces.
I didn't know it was that far back. Yeah.
Yeah, it was only the year 2000. I joined in 2004. So there's still a load of salty sea dogs that remember the good old days where it was the fastest way out of the Navy. Like way back then,
Really?
it was like, oh yeah, if you said to your CO you were gay, you'd be out the door the same day.
Jesus.
Which is weird considering like
That
a
was
Navy
it.
man was like a one of those key images you'd see, you know, like with the
Yeah,
village
but that's
people and
because
stuff.
of village people and the American military.
Yeah.
But that wasn't the UK
Also, not all of those
military.
dudes were gay. There were like 2 dudes. who were-
Homophobic, yeah.
Oh, I'm sure they were.
I think it was the Indian and
and the
one of the
policeman, was it?
police, or the builder. It was
It was
one of those two, yeah.
I know that Trump sued them recently.
Well, they
Well, no, they
sued Trump
they
because he
sued
kept
Trump,
on
sorry.
using fucking YMCA. Like, for God's sake, Trump.
Hey.
Like, which one?
Macho
did you
Read
go
the
with?
room.
Oh, no,
Read
that
the
was, It was
room.
Macho Man.
Macho
It was
Man.
Macho Man.
Yeah.
Of course.
As he's trying to remove rights from transgender people. Yeah.
Because that's exactly what the village people were about.
That's what they were about. That's what I got from it.
Yeah. But anyway, so I got outed, and there was a couple of guys that were on the forces that were still in the closet, and yeah, and one of them was bi, and he wanted to convince me that it would be better that I was bi and not gay. So his first plan was to take me to a brothel.
Right.
So we get in the taxi and we go to this brothel, and there's a line of women, and obviously, I mean, I'd experimented because everyone experiments in college. I'd given it a go. I kind of knew roughly. I mean, I'd never eaten anything out because anything that can bleed for 7 days and not die, I'm not putting my mouth next to it. But
I strongly disagree, but I like my steak rare. So.
well, yeah, I like my steak rare, and I like my vaginas, penises. So anyway, because hang on, right, transgender, yeah, okay, cool. Fucking story upon story. So basically, we go to the brothel. I pick the Russian because I think, okay, that must be okay. We go in. She tries doing things, and obviously, I'd worked out I was gay, and it wouldn't know. Nobody home, just nothing. Yeah, I'd make a terrible
slug in
rapist.
the snow.
Touch it as
just-
much as you want.
And
It's
it's just-
nothing
yeah.
a stand for you.
So I did, as I sort of said, look, love, it's not going to work. It's not going to work. It's all right. So I'm gay. Do you want to have a chat? So I sat there for the allotted time. I don't know how long it was, but when we just had a chat, and then the light flashes in the room to say the time's up. So we go out the room. I said, look, my mate's paying for this. And that's like he's shipping a bit of money on this. Can you just tell him that we did do something? And it's like, yeah. And she's like, okay, got you. So we go out the room, and he's there because he'd finished earlier. Timmy Two Strokes. Anyway, he'd finished earlier, and he comes out and he's like, "All right, how was he? Was he okay?" And she looks at him and goes, "He did very good." So, as a reward, he took me to a lap dancing joint.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
So great. The gay guy fails with the prostitute, then goes to the lap dancing joint, and he's paying for me to have private dances all night as
Jesus
celebration of me realising I was bi. and he keeps paying for these private dances. He thought he'd turn me. So there I am, and I'm just in the back room with this woman gesticulating. It's like, no, still not doing anything. And it's just like, oh, I feel like such a fucking mug. But anyway, transgender. Did you realise we all used to be women?
Well,
in the womb. Yeah.
kind of. Yeah.
No, so this is why we have nipples, but also the vagina is or the penis is basically the vagina that flipped inside out and fell out.
Yeah.
That's why it's
And
a lot
that's-
easier
Yeah,
to...
it's
That's
exactly
why
the same
you
structure.
have a seam going from the tip of your penis to the bottom of your arsehole.
Is that what that is?
That's your labia, your testicles, your scrot. That's your labia that's sealed up.
I don't know if
How
you get a
many
fully
did
formed
you grow
vagina.
up thinking that you were born with a zipper?
I mean, yeah. 100%.
You see the line and you think
100%.
like, oh my god, I've been born with it. I'm not a human. I'm a
I'm
robot in a skin
Frankenstein.
suit. Oh my god, maybe I'm an alien invader. How dare I? Yeah, no, apparently because that used to be a pussy.
It's got a dick zip.
Yeah.
That's just all it
I've-
is.
I can honestly say I never thought-
I'm such a feminist. I wear my fanny on the outside.
Oh, right. So, talking of Stoke again, does Wright's still exist?
What?
The bakery, Wright's.
Possibly, no idea. I live in a nice bit of Stoke and try not to go anywhere near the
Oh,
middle.
mate. Wright's for me at university was the way I lived. It was the best you could
I
get.
reckon
You could get a giant coconut macaroon the size of your fist for 50p.
I think there may be one or two of them still in like Hanley or that
that's
area.
it. You got to get yourself a Wright's at some point, mate. Treat yourself. Treat yourself to a Wright's.
Always a fan of a Greg's, personally. You can never
Fuck
go
on
wrong with a
Greg's.
Greg.
Fuck on Greg's. Wright's every goddamn day. You're in the nirvana of pastries and you don't even know it.
Well, if we're talking Stoke, apparently it's the.
They used to make
what
a
the
burger one,
pancakes-
Carl.
What are the pancakes called?
They used to make a burger pasty.
What's
They
the
made a
pancakes
burger
called in
pasty.
Stoke?
Oh, oatcakes.
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 Yeah.
Oh,
Land of the oatcakes.
They're
Me and my
fucking good.
husband, we've given oatcakes a go. We've
They're
given that a
pretty
try. But
that sounds terrible.
we go to
They're sort of slightly more moist, like wraps.
yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, what? They're
Basically-
moist wraps.
Yeah.
From what we gather, you get porridge, you flatten it out, and then it turns into pita bread. Done.
Oh, why?
You cook it. It's
You
not
cook
just.
it, it's
yeah.
lovely.
Oh, great. You put it in some fire. that
What
makes
is
it
the
so much
difference
better.
between a wrap made out of wheat and a wrap made out of fucking oat? What's the difference?
If there's no
I mean, it's
difference,
not
why
like-
do it?
Because it tastes good.
That's debatable.
Well,
That's debatable.
It's higher in you know, with all the adverts. It's like, now with added.
yeah.
But no, we did that one, and now my Chinese husband keeps confusing the shit out of the local butcher. That's great fun
Cool.
because because in Stoke there's it's like a catering butcher's,
Right.
and they supply to all the restaurants and stuff, and they're in the quite a big area, but they have like a factory shop.
Cool.
So he keeps going into the factory shop and he's like, have you got this? Have you got this? Have you got this? Like, I thought ribs were ribs. You do ribs.
Yeah.
No, the Chinese, they cut the ribs off differently so you get more meat on it. So he'll go in and like, he wants the ribs Chinese style. Or, pork belly, you get like a strip of pork belly. Or what you can get that in China is then you can have it thinned to bacon sliced thicknesses.
Ooh.
So it's like really juicy.
Sounds fucking
Better way to eat it. I'm not a fan of pork
sounds
belly
fucking
for
nice.
the,
Yeah, there's all
texture.
sorts of recipes and stuff like that. And one of his favourite ones is like Hongsha, which is it's like it's basically pork belly, but it's done in like a sweet sauce, not sweet and
Oh,
sour, but a
shit.
sweet sauce.
Shit.
It's a sweet red sauce.
Is this? Yeah. Now,
Well, there's
does
different
that
ways.
thing
My
have like an
husband's
incredibly
red.
strong, like rich flavour to it?
Um,
Is that one that's kind of like sweet and sour, but off its tits insane?
No. Well, I
'Cause
mean,
there's-
I think there's so many different recipes
Yeah.
for Hongsha you
Because
could probably.
there's this one thing.
My husband comes from Sichuan province, so he keeps using the Sichuan peppercorns,
Nice.
which oh god. So basically, have you had Sichuan peppercorns?
I love spice of all varieties.
Well, so Sichuan peppercorns, they're not spicy, they're numbing.
Really?
It gives like a numbing, tingly sensation. If you had a little bit in your food, it's beautiful, like an interesting little tingle. But
That's what they use to make you think you're having Coke over here. They take a little bit of that, make you numb. 'Cause you know when you have Coke and it makes your lips numb, gums numb.
Yeah.
Yeah. it makes
that's
you-
Sichuan pepper.
Exactly. We think it's Coke.
Just snorting Szechuan
Yeah,
pepper.
yeah, they're giving us
Possibly.
fucking
I mean,
Szechuan
it's pink and black. So if your Coke's coming pink and black,
You
then
should know
probably
something.
yeah.
I think
But yeah,
so.
Sichuan pepper it gives you that tingling sensation and that numbing sensation. But they don't like sprinkle a little bit in your food. They hide entire fucking clothes in there and like branches, and you bite into something you think is a solid piece of beef, and it turns out to be a Sichuan peppercorn cluster bomb.
Fuck.
Loose feeling in half of your face, and the next table starts calling an ambulance.
That seems like a weird way to go about it.
Yeah, it was bizarre. And also the weird thing is, so anyway, he
Yeah.
keeps going to the butchers and asking for these different things, and he's like, we had pig's trotters the other day, and he goes up to the butchers, and there's like one guy that does, he's like the head butcher, Liam, but then you've got the people that work behind the counter who don't know what what the shit's been talked about.
Yeah.
So he'll go in and say, "Have you got the pig's trotters ready?" And the woman's just like, "What the what?" He asked them if they could do pig's brain, because that's a delicacy in Sichuan food. Because what they do is they get this like big bubbling cauldron, and they fill it with like oil and spice. That's basically it. It's a Sichuan hot pot. So it's this bubbly oil soup with like loads of chilies in it, and it'll blow your bloody head off.
Nice.
It makes a fowl look tame.
Yeah. Oh shit.
Yeah. And he'd loved that, and we quite obviously, whilst we were in China, loads of mates would go around, and it's a sort of group meal. You'd all sit around the hot pot, and you'd dunk in your raw ingredients, cook it in this boiling soup, and then fish it back out and eat it. So I obviously had the Beijing style hot pot, which was the non-spicy, because otherwise I would be crying the following day. But he'd have the spicy stuff, and he'd be ordering things like pig's brain. Whenever he went to Sichuan and come back, he'd come with like rabbit heads. So it's the heads of the rabbit, and they get wrapped in like a nut marinade or something like that, and just they're marinated and steamed or cooked. Yeah. And then he'd come back and he'd be like, "I got some rabbit heads." Yeah. We'd been together for like 5 years before I actually got to eat any of the rest of the rabbit. Yeah. It was just the heads that would come back in, and you then having to smash Thumper's head in to get to the brain and eating the tongue. It was like, yeah. I put up with that food for 8 years. I mean, it was edible. I dealt with it. That was the norm then? It was the norm, yeah. It was perfectly normal over there. I had like caterpillars, fried caterpillars in salad. I mean, I would say that
right.
I could do a bush tucker trial on the proviso they cook it. I'm not eating a live widgety grub. Cook it in garlic sauce, I will chow down on that bastard. But I am not eating it raw.
They don't give you live, but it's raw.
No, I've seen it move on that plate.
Yeah, they used to, but it's animal cruelty now. They had to change it.
Oh, good.
I have to think. I do have I've got a pretty adventurous palate. I've eaten some weird shit. I've
eaten starfish.
Yeah, I've got a friend who's got a Thai wife. Yeah. And one of her favourite things to cook was this this dish with like fermented crabs in it. Yeah. And
so
I shit you not, I fucking loved it. It was
my
delicious.
husband tried doing that once.
Yeah.
I can't remember what I was doing the day before, but I had way too much. So it's a 3-week project.
Yeah.
So you get this big pickling jar, and he was putting like spices, herbs, and then sherry in this pot. And then they have like hairy claw river crabs. Yeah. So they're like little freshwater crabs.
Yeah, those are the ones. Yeah.
Drops it in there alive. Yeah. So it gets drunk and pickles itself. Raw and alive. Seals it up 3 weeks. 3 weeks later, serves it. Yeah. Straight out the pickle. Not cooked, nothing like that. Yeah. Just out the pickle because the alcohol apparently sterilizes it. I'd forgotten about the dinner party, and the night before I went out and had a heavy sesh. And I woke up hanging out my arse. And then 4 people turn up to the house for a lovely dinner party where my husband pulls out these crabs from the pot, and I'm like, no. Normally I was able to deal with it. Also, how many ways can you kill a lobster?
Oh, I reckon there's a good 50 I can think of.
Oh, okay. How would you kill a lobster to prepare it for cooking?
Oh,
you boil it alive.
People
so drop it in hot water,
people say that, yeah.
Or what's the other
one? You can technically stun them first. You can freeze them first and then put them in the...
okay, or knife to the back of the head.
Yeah, you can do that.
Yeah, my husband has a different method. Right. It involves a chopstick. So what you do is you hold up the lobster by its claw. You run the chopstick down the bottom of the lobster to where its flappy little tail is. Find the poop chute and turn it into a lollipop.
Oh, Jesus!
Oh, God.
I watched him do that.
Oh, Jesus Christ!
Now, I'm a top, but even I thought that was a bit fucking harsh. Watching a lobster go from, where you going with that, to, oh, God!
It did make me laugh. You were very much like it is cruelty to animals, like eating the insects in I'm a Celebrity. But stick a fucking a finger
well, I mean, he did it in a very swift motion. Yeah. So that lobster was worried, sexually excited and dead within a second.
I've never
it was
seen
a full-on skill.
Oh, it was a full-on straight up that. No, he didn't. He didn't take his time, lube it up, and whisper sweet nothings in its ear. It was just lollipop.
I've never before seen that Mortal Kombat finisher. I'm just saying, penetration.
It's better than most ones I have.
Yeah, even I was like, oh God. Well, you're gonna have to use extra garlic and butter on
God.
that one because
Yeah.
I'm not going to be able to eat it otherwise.
It tastes good, to be fair. Just lobster is the one thing I've always wanted to try, but I want to try it properly, you know, not like a £5 one for my friend.
Yeah.
Well, you're talking about animal cruelty and things you want to try. Would you ever try the meat that's grown in a lab?
100%.
That miracle meat, the human one that they're talking about.
I don't know about
There's
this.
seen that
apparently
bit.
someone's growing
I've heard of
Greg
like
Wallace eats
thing.
it. They go for
Impossible
fingers
meat.
Yeah,
No,
no,
impossible
no.
burgers. They're not
Miracle-
impossible. They're cardboard.
Miracle meat.
They
It's
also-
literally-
Miracle meat. I
I've
haven't heard
tried
this
one of the. I've only tried one, and it tasted like the closest approximation to a type of meat I can get is corned beef, which is the furthest away from normal meat you can get.
Well,
It's
yeah.
not be
Meat,
meat.
yeah, it's still meat.
That's like it's that.
Did
perfect
you
crossover.
know?
Processed.
Right. During my colour, God, this episode's got food, it's got
yeah.
culture. Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you know horse
Welcome
tastes
to
like
Squishy
corned beef?
Logic. What?
Horse tastes like corned beef. So
I definitely ate horse.
during my time in China,
Right.
one of the schools I was teaching at, one of the kids that was there was Mongolian, not Chinese, but it was a private kindergarten. And they would always have like a 2-hour nap time. Like Chinese do have like a siesta.
Yeah.
So the kids would go for a long nap during the middle of the day, and the teachers would go and do prep or just go home and have a meal or something like that. Yeah. And one day, one of the parents invited us round for a Mongolian meal, and we're like, "Oh, this sounds interesting." So we basically turn up, and there's a pot on a coffee table in the middle of his living room with big chunks of meat.
Just sticking out of it.
Yeah,
Awesome.
and a
great,
kitchen
yeah.
knife.
Oh,
And
awesome.
he just says, "Help yourself."
Oh.
So you literally just got there with a fork and a massive knife, and you cut it off, and he's like, "Oh, this one's like Mongolian plain beef," and you're like, "Oh,
You
yeah.
say
Oh,
that, you've probably just gone to
you
the
can
butcher about
taste that it
anything."
was grassland." And then he was like, and then was the other one, and he says, "This was quite interesting." So what? It's horse. I was like, "All right, okay."
Yeah.
So cut it off. At least he didn't do the Findus lasagna thing where he tried to pretend it was
Yeah.
beef. He told us it was horse,
Or,
and ate it,
in
and it was like, yeah,
Tesco's.
this is like corned beef. It's like really lean and it's really good. I mean, obviously we have this relationship with horses, and we was like, oh, this is a
I've
lovely
not
animal,
had a
but
single relationship with a horse.
Really?
Would you eat your dog?
No, I like my dogs.
Yeah, but if your dog was passing away,
I've
or
had
your
a
dog
hamster,
passed
I'd
away-
I
eat
eat dog in
hamster.
general.
Yeah.
I'd
I
eat
mean,
anything, really.
I think
dog
this
was
is a
dead,
brilliant
sure.
way we can end world hunger. Is if people consent. You know, like you can donate organs.
Yeah.
I don't know.
At
People
the
in
end of
America
life.
are fat. There won't be enough.
If you at end of life, you can consent to saying like, well, I'm not really using this body. I mean, I'm not expecting to have to go back to it again. Like, take the eyes for people that are blind. Take but the like leg muscle, just cut off a couple of steaks, feed the hungry with it.
It's true.
I mean, I'm not going to be using it again, am I? And that would be, I think even vegetarians could eat that, because then that's consensual meat.
It's true. The only problem with that is that you do tend to lead yourself into
fair
more
point.
like diseases from eating
I
your
thought-
own.
Is that just
No,
from
no,
grains,
no.
or is that from
Oh no,
the
it
meat?
could be from anything. I mean, prions especially come from the brain, so don't eat a brain. Don't eat human brain.
Yeah.
Or pork brain.
Pork brain's fine.
Oh, right.
Do not eat human brain. If you eat human brain, it actually causes a prion imbalance in your brain.
What's a prion?
Prions
are
Didn't
like-
Toyota make that a couple of years ago?
They're the bigger, nastier, older brother of bacteria.
Oh, right.
And some prions are so fucking like viciously livable that you can't kill them with like thousands of degrees of heat.
Yeah.
And they're weird little like microorganisms. But the fact is, if you eat a shitload of human brain, then that will cause an imbalance of those prions invading your prions and causing this reaction, which legitimately turns you insane and will turn you into a psychopath.
Yeah, it turns you crazy.
It's
yeah.
weird, but it is 100%. If you eat human brain, you become insane.
Yeah.
So
doesn't
was
work
this
with any
where
other
like
kind
the
of brain.
zombie hole thing?
That's
came
what I was
it
about to
is.
say, yeah.
But also, you know what's weird? It's also how mad cow disease happened because they fed cows to cows,
Yeah.
and prions from the cow's brains got into the brains of the living cows.
I knew it was because they'd eaten cows. I
Yeah.
didn't know it was the prions.
Yeah, that's what that is a prion-based disease. That's what a prion disease looks like.
Don't need brains. Don't need brains that come from the same animal as you. Basically, any animal.
Never do that.
Yeah.
Never do it.
But
Can eat the rest of the flesh.
Eat other animals'
yeah.
brains. That's fine.
Yeah.
But what about
we can-
thigh? Like a bit of human thigh.
Thighs are right. Thighs are right. Yeah.
No.
Just make sure they don't have any other weird diseases like hepatitis or something like that. Because that's a fucking problem. If you all sit down for fucking Sunday dinner and you walk away with hepatitis, something's gone wrong.
Well, yeah. This might then help
there.
reduce some of these diseases. Because if you're then becoming part of the food stock, you'd want the human race to be disease-free.
That's true. That's
Like, vaccinate your mother-in-law.
against cancer, so that she can be fresher for longer.
Does your mother-in-law leave a bad taste in your mouth? Or yours new virus away, so that when she is on the Sunday plate. Yeah, I think it does also need the 1950s thing.
It does. It really does. It's the only way you can sell that shit. Don't worry about it. Everything's fine and dandy.
1950s voice. I mean, sometimes having the posh 1950s voice is really useful.
Oh, it is.
Like
Not eating human. Don't worry about it, though.
We're all happy together. Yay for LGBT.
Should we have a smoke break?
Yes, let's do that.
Yeah, sure.
Shall I pause it on this, or are you just leaving it running?
No, you can pause it.
Pause it?
Fine, yeah.
Pause it, fine, yeah. Pause it, fine, yeah.
I was wrong. It wasn't fine. So for the rest of this podcast, there isn't camera on me and Nathan. There was full audio from the good microphones of Nathan's that picked up everything, and then I made a slight mistake when I was transferring the files, so they were also now deleted. So this is all we got for the last bit. We've got a camera on LongHu that was also recording the sound. Well, if you can consider it sound, it's... I wouldn't blame you if you clicked off now, but there's some good stuff in the rest of this too. So listen to it. Don't get in at me on the comments saying, oh, the sound audio quality is terrible after blah 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 an hour in. I know. There's nothing I can do about it. See, we gave you this, I'll give you nothing. And I know if it's a choice between that and nothing, you want to hear our voices because it's our voices. Even if they're muffled and while we're talking, it doesn't matter. You want to hear our voices. I get it, I understand. And you get to see LongHu's face too. So, plus, for those of you that are watching, those of you that are just listening, I suppose, you buggered either way. So, love ya. Bye.
American comedy tends to have a sort of meaning or a point, or American comics want to convince you that their way of thinking is the right way of thinking.
Yeah. I know.
Like Carlson and those sort of things. George Carlin as well.
Hicks.
British comedy was more from the theatre and the vaudeville, and it's purely entertainment. So we're talking like Jasper Carrott wasn't trying to convince you of anything. Victoria Wood, Lee Evans, Al Murray, the Eddie Izzard, or Susie Izzard, sorry.
But like some of them have those, or like Ricky Gervais.
So
I love Ricky Gervais.
Yeah, but Ricky is more of the new school, and I think that's because of the American influence.
Yeah.
Whereas Michael McIntyre, definitely not.
Yeah.
Michael McIntyre's not trying to make a point.
It's
Now, some
interesting you
people
say that,
don't
'cause he-
like him because he has nothing to say, but that's not the point.
He's entertaining.
He's there to entertain.
He's
What
great
I
on a
find
quiz show.
interesting, though, what I find interesting is there's this weird sort of changeover that happened because the British went from like this, purely entertainment, set up punchline kind of vibe. And then slowly it sort of evolved into a bit of storytelling and that kind of stuff. And then the American thing came along where it was like, as you say, trying to put your opinion across. And I think for a while, the British comedy didn't understand quite how to do that properly. And you ended up with quite a few comedians who, I can't think of one off the top of my head, annoyingly. But there was a type of comedian who tried to sort of explain something to you in a sort of I'm smart kind of way, rather than a sort of this is funny kind of way.
It's like very Ricky Gervais, but to
Ricky
some
Gervais
people anyway.
sort of
To
did
some
it better,
people.
but I still think there's a bit of that in the Ricky Gervais. I think
Yeah.
he deployed it correctly.
Yeah.
But there were a lot of other people after that who tried to imitate it. I think in a way. And it
Richard
didn't-
Ayoade.
I mean,
Yeah,
technically,
he's one. He definitely.
There's a bit of that in
Yeah.
Russell Brand as well. I like Russell
Yes,
Brand.
there
and
is
he's
technically,
fine.
it's good because it is allowing things to be discussed.
Yeah.
But obviously, then it means that those that do it purely for the entertainment aren't taken as seriously. And it almost feels like, because of how big the American scene is, people are trying to emulate American comics.
That
as
is
opposed
definitely a
to
thing.
remembering the
Yeah.
value of the vaudeville style.
Yeah, that's definitely a
I
thing.
think that there's been another evolution in the American thing now, where it's sort of they've taken a bit of the try and just get back to being as funny as possible.
Well, Gabriel Iglesias.
Gabriel
Fluffy.
Iglesias is a great
Yeah.
example. There's another one I love is Ari Shafir. He's just
He's
tells
good, yeah,
stories
yeah.
and ridiculous jokes.
He will really go over the top. He
Oh,
goes
he's
way
got
too far.
ridiculously way too far.
Just in
way
general,
too
his life. Like
yeah.
Jesus, man, that guy.
And I think Bert Kreischer is a bit of a show of
The
machine!
The machine,
No,
exactly.
yeah, I hate him.
Um,
He's annoying.
whatever.
Oh, you like?
love
Oh,
the
yeah,
machine.
forgot
I
it.
like the machine
Yeah.
and that sort of ridiculousness, because you look at that story and think,
Oh, that one
no, that
story,
never
yeah.
happened, and then you go, I've actually lived a life. Yes,
Yeah,
that
yeah,
possibly
Yeah, I
could
believe
have
that
happened.
life happened.
Yeah.
Also, again, you need to watch Secret Time. Secret Time is such a fucking fantastic special. Have you seen Secret Time?
I haven't seen that one yet.
Oh,
On Netflix, well worth your time. Just brilliant. And he just
Really
constantly
don't know
goes.
how we're
My
doing
favourite one.
So
is
that
just goes,
probably isn't going to happen, because my husband refuses to even buy a TV license at the moment.
I don't blame him, man. The TV license is bullshit.
Yeah,
I don't know
that's,
why
that's
you
what my
consider
husband came
things-
over and he keeps saying things like in China. But anyway, sorry, finish.
No,
about that.
I
It's
agree, I
just
agree.
One of my favourite jokes is he just goes, Secret Time? Okay, when my wife comes, she looks like Elvis. Oh.
Oh, okay.
Fair enough.
Okay.
So no, my husband came over a couple of months ago, not impressed,
Yeah.
because it's all the cost of everything, and he's like, TV license, like, why am I paying this much
Yeah.
for one single channel?
Yeah.
Yeah. And even if you don't have that channel, if you have other things with a screen or like,
Yep.
you still have to do it.
Yeah.
So he's now refused to buy the TV license and a TV.
Yeah.
So we're not watching TV and breaking the law, but I mean, of course, with me and my anxiety and remembering those adverts from, we know where you are, we know what you're doing,
Yeah.
we will find you, and you're like, please just let us get a TV license.
If you've got a laptop and Netflix, you're fine. They
Yeah,
can't
but
read.
then
No,
you,
that's still, as far as they're concerned.
No, because you
For
can actually
some-
prove that you haven't gone onto the website. You can check using the IP.
I think it says you can still have it with that though.
No.
Any outside third party internet,
They
you
can
watch
claim
stuff.
that. They can claim that. But if they've not got any,
I think,
proof
isn't that if you're
actually
watching
access the service-
live
But that's
TV
proof,
through
yeah.
Netflix,
Yeah, that's it,
it's
specifically.
all about the live stuff.
Yeah.
But even I
Oh yes, live TV. You
I
might
had a
actually,
panic
sorry,
attack
yeah,
and decided to delete BBC iPlayer, which is annoying because
Oh.
I'm waiting for the 60th anniversary of Doctor Who to come out.
Hey,
Now I'm
he'll
going
be
to have
in-
to somehow work
Yeah.
out how to watch it.
It's hardly ever. I'll burn you a copy. Don't worry. Yeah. I'll go old school. I'm a big Who fan.
Yeah.
When is it supposed to be coming out? Then 'cause there's so much time in between every series now.
Yeah, I don't, because it was good with Christopher Eccleston and that, and he was sort of
I
like,
liked
you had a
Eccleston.
series and then you had a Christmas special,
Yeah.
blah, blah, blah.
And David Tennant, he was fine.
But
At the end, it got
some
bad.
of David Tennant's, it was like you had a couple of specials,
Yeah.
then a couple of months wait, and then a couple of specials, and a couple of months wait.
Yeah.
It's like, no,
More
I
at the
wanna
end.
I want to be able to binge this shit now.
Yeah.
I want to watch all of it.
Matt Smith and then
Peter Capaldi
Peter
as well.
Capaldi.
He was then in that format of
Yeah.
the specials.
Jodie Whittaker's been terrible. Like I've liked her as the Doctor.
The
The
writing's not.
The writing's not
writers,
very
yeah.
good. Yeah.
And they're
I
bringing back
felt it
what's
was
his
too
face?
preachy.
Yeah, they're
Yeah,
bringing back
yeah.
what's his face, the guy who wrote the David Tennant ones.
Yeah.
Russell T Davis.
I was
Yeah.
never a big fan of Russell T Davis's writing.
I
But-
thought that was good.
Yeah,
I think
David
there-
Tennant
there-
as
there-
well.
don't get me wrong, there's some really good standout episodes, but there's also some bits where he just uses like, and magical realism. La! and everything's.
They
soft.
all have a bit of a bang and it's done.
I mean, that's always.
I know,
yeah.
You watch
that's
all the
the
Who
thing.
culture videos, and it's like
But the dude after
9 mistakes they forgot to take out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like Monsters of the Week. You always have that when you have a Monster of the Week
Yeah,
kind of
that's
format.
that's fine. The thing is,
It's
I
annoying, but-
liked it when it was the dude afterwards, and it became a little bit more.
After David Tennant.
Yeah, the
Oh,
writer
Massive.
after Russell T Davies. I
Oh.
can't remember who it was. I liked that.
Steve
that,
Moffat.
That's it. I
No,
I
I
like
wasn't
that run.
keen on Stephen Moffat.
When it started, and then he sort of.
But yeah,
petered
whoever
out.
the Whittaker writer was.
Yeah, I think honestly,
Oh, yeah.
what's more important than having a new Doctor Who all the time is having a new writer. I think it's a good idea for like each season to have a bit of a fresh feel.
Yeah, possibly. You could have different writers. I think it might be a good idea to have one underlying writer.
Yeah.
Like, if you got someone
Oh, you
that's
should definitely
already
have.
good.
You should definitely have a.
But that would be like
lead.
then saying each James Bond should be written by someone new.
Yeah,
I think for the
That's
most
a good
part they
point.
should be.
but they're all written by Ian
I
Fleming.
mean, there was so much great talent from the Ian Fleming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know it's hard to keep it as one particular story if you're always going to pass it
Yeah.
about people.
I think it's the
Happened with
old
Marvel.
Ian Fleming stuff,
I
that's
think-
fine.
I
but
think
like
the thing
new
is-
stuff-
is-
Marvel do it right.
It was
but-
good to because I mean, first of all, the regeneration of the Doctor was because the original actor didn't want to do or couldn't do it any
Oh,
longer.
okay.
But
Like the
they-
first Doctor, you mean?
The first Doctor.
Oh, okay.
Because I think they all referred to him as Grandad and stuff like that.
Okay.
And, but yeah, it was a way of continuing that series because they had this brilliant idea. And I mean,
Yeah.
sometimes I love the vintage episodes where the Cybermen were quite clearly some bloke in overall with
Yeah,
silver
yeah.
wellies.
I've looked back at a lot, of it, but I can't watch the full episode.
Fucking
of it.
hilarious. I think there was one I remember watching as a kid, and I was terrified of these radioactive maggots. And it's quite clearly a bloke in a painted green, green sleeping bag crawling along the floor. Where they made these terrifying episodes with a special effects budget of about £5.
Yeah.
It's amazing
And it
what's
was
scared
so
you.
British. And then you had the other things as well. Oh, I hate that they've made CGI Thunderbirds now.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
CGI Thunderbirds and Fireman Sam.
And Captain
They've
Scarlet.
Fireman Sam,
and Captain
yeah.
Scarlet. I didn't even know that had come
Yeah,
back.
yeah.
I remember when it was puppets
Puppet.
and real fireballs, and the puppet's body would turn, and then the head would turn around.
Yeah.
I spent fucking months working on this perfect model, filming it from every angle, getting every scene, and they get to fucking blow
It out. Yeah. It was brilliant. And,
Yeah, I try and tell my kids when they're watching like
what
Fireman
was the
Sam, you
submarine
know.
one?
Oh, Stingray.
Stingray!
I fucking loved Stingray.
The theme tune for anything could happen in the next 30 minutes.
I never ever watched
There was one
that.
as well. There was
Oh,
one in
brilliant.
space. Was it Blake 7 or something? I can't remember what it was.
Yeah, Blake 7, but there was also...
These puppets still.
no, Blake 7 was
Blake 7
humans.
was humans. There was one that was puppets as well. But they did it in space. And I can't
Power
remember what it's
Rangers.
It was probably like X something.
called. Yeah.
X-Men.
What was
Did you watch X-Men when you was younger? Like that old
Yeah,
series?
of course.
Diddle-diddle-doo. Do you know they're bringing that back?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're bringing it back on Disney Plus, like a continuation of it.
Literally.
I think Disney
direct
Plus
continuation.
might be one channel that I'd pay for.
It's
Yeah.
worth it.
Not Netflix, but
Yeah.
maybe Disney, because I'm into
Disney's
my
good.
sci-fis.
The thing about Disney is I'm a bit of a sort of fan of the whole American Dad Family Guy thing. I sort of grew up in.
It
exactly
used to
that
be,
way.
it's hard to
It
be now.
hit me.
Well, I love sci-fi because
Yeah.
it's an escape from real life. This is why I say
What's sci-fi?
I don't watch the news
Yeah.
because it's just depressing, and it's all the time. It's all over the world, and I mean, yeah, it's awful that there's been a landslide in China, but like 40 years ago, you wouldn't have heard about it.
Yeah.
Now it's
Yeah.
just constant.
That's what I was
depression
saying earlier
all the
about people
time.
think this stuff's happening a lot more because it's always in your ear, you know, you're always
Yeah.
hearing about it.
So
Yeah.
I watch sci-fi to get away
Yeah.
from that.
What kind of sci-fi though? Like when you say sci-fi, what's
Anything
your
with a
favourite?
big spaceship, and I
Okay.
love it. Like
Would you prefer
the
like,
writing on Jupiter Ascending was shit, but those spaceships were awesome.
Okay,
They were
yeah.
flying the cathedrals.
I still think
Visuals
the
were
scene in
awesome.
Serenity
Oh,
where
yeah.
I haven't seen
Serenity
that.
goes through the iron cloud,
Yeah.
and they're like, they're not even changing course, and then the Reavers come. I had a geekgasm with that. And you're like, oh my god, that is so beautiful.
It might not be popular to say to someone who's into sci-fi, but I do like sci-fi myself. But my favourite kind of representation is like the Guardians of the Galaxy kind of sci-fi.
Yeah, I
think
like that as well.
It
One of
fits
my
in with a lot of
favourites,
alien and
one of
rustic
my
stuff, you know.
fucking favourites by far, and it fits into that vibe, is Fifth Element.
Yeah, yeah,
film. Have you
yeah.
ever seen? What a fucking
Yeah.
banger!
The rustic kind of space
Because
age.
I mean, one of the things that some people like about the Next Generation and the original series of Star Trek was the aliens were like, oh, I've got dots on my face. That means I'm an alien. And you were like, that is awful. I've got to say, a lot of people complain about the new Star Trek Discovery because of it's like, oh, and then she discovered she was a lesbian, and you're just like, okay, cool. And
Glad you
it was,
found out. It's good.
it was, and it's like, oh, it's all fucking PG. It has to be like that. It did go dark, and I wasn't sure if I liked it because it'd gone dark,
Which
and
one was
everything
that?
had gone dark, like Star Trek Discovery.
I like Discovery, you know. That was the first one I properly watched because I learned that Star Trek was more like proper storyline just in that scenario, and I kind of like that.
It's
Yeah.
like why I don't like any of the new Batman movies because it got
Oh
too
God,
real.
yeah! Don't get me started on the most recent one.
Christian Bale.
Oh,
it started going down from there.
I
like the
those
Nolan one.
three.
I liked
I
Adam
like
West
those
in his little
Oh,
pajamas
God.
and his
Oh, God.
bright yellow belt.
Oh God, what?
Holy sucker and succotash, Batman!
I like watching it for the funnies,
Yeah, it's great.
but that's not my Batman.
But
It
the
was
thing is, like,
camp and it was hilarious.
I love the Christopher
Pow,
Nolan. That's the
schnick.
thing. When it came to the Christopher Nolan ones, I was like, that's brilliant.
art.
That's fucking brilliant. It's as realistic as I want Batman to be. And then they went, yeah, but let's get grittier and
I
real. It's
kinda
like,
like
no,
it,
no. You've done that now.
No.
Do the fun Batman now.
Do
Do
you-
the Batman who fights Bane.
Uma
Yeah.
Thurman
Yeah,
with,
yeah.
as Poison Ivy,
Yes.
and the bat suit with the nipples because
Yeah.
they need extra protection.
Yeah. And that's
was
definitely
still
true.
good.
Yeah.
They definitely need like a fun Batman.
That is
but
such a
the new
fun
one's
film.
very good though.
Yeah.
Like,
But
I
it's
really-
now
it's
gone all
arty.
dark, and
It's
all
not
of the
that-
sci-fi has to be real.
The thing that annoys me
Like
as well
Breaking
is the
Bad style.
Joker. They don't ever just go lighter on the Joker. It's always, well, now he's this really nasty motherfucker who cuts people's
Yeah,
face
yeah,
up. And
yeah,
now
yeah.
he's this nasty motherfucker who's like a gang boss and rapes people and shit. And now,
Yeah.
now he's got
Did you-
barely
did
any
you-
face.
Like Ben Affleck.
Okay, so I haven't seen the new one then
Yeah.
because I don't remember him not having a face. But the Jay Leno one, I remember them saying like the co-stars and that hated.
Yeah, because he kept
Yeah, yeah,
eating
yeah.
dead
He
animals.
took it
in
too
the
far.
fucking,
He
like,
went
things.
method.
Yeah, he
but
took
not
it too
even.
far.
That's not method though. That's
He went
That is method, yeah.
psychopath.
He's
yeah,
proper-
exactly. It's
going
not
way
quite
too
the
method.
same thing as like Daniel Day-Lewis. I mean, Daniel
Well, it
Day-Lewis
is.
did go psycho. He definitely did. But I get the thing with Leto. It feels like
Well,
it's artificial.
his-
man, you know what I mean?
the way he actually
I don't vibe on
performs.
Leto. We've already done a thing about the worst cults
Cults.
to be in.
Yeah, he's got a
30
cult in
Seconds
that.
to Mars is one of the worst cults to be in. They've got an actual cult.
Well, yeah, it's more of a Jared Leto cult.
It's
isn't
Jared
it?
Leto
Yeah.
cult, really. Yeah.
Yeah, for like, but he was very good at what he did at the Joker. If they did like a Zack Snyder cut of Suicide Squad, it would have been great. I bet, yeah, like the Justice League.
There actually is one. There's a Dan what's his face cut with
Yeah, but how-
about an extra 40 minutes of the Joker
Oh, really?
and Harley in it.
No, I'd watch that
really
because
explains
he-
their actual background and all that kind of stuff.
that's the
It's
same
just never been
series.
out.
Because he made me
It's
watch
weird.
the
Why
Snyder
these
one.
movies they're filming like so much more of the
Than they
movie
use.
than they actually need
Well, it's
to.
producers.
'Cause What
Yeah.
was, what was it?
And
The Justice
studios.
League one.
That's what I was on about.
That
yeah.
was ridiculous. Have you seen either of the Justice League version?
The one where they're fighting the bloke in the nuclear reactor.
Yeah.
They sort
Steppenwolf.
but the thing is, in the first one, it was
The
Joss Whedon
original
one that's about
Justice
2 hours
League.
long.
The original one of that.
The Zack Snyder actual like extended version.
Yeah, I
the
think that's the
one
one I've seen.
Which is the
yeah,
same
that's
film.
like 3 hours and a bit. That's
Yeah.
almost 4
Well, it's almost
hours.
4 hours. Yeah, it's pretty much
that
4 hours.
film, I fucking love that film. It's
So-
genuinely fantastic.
I'd watched the original one, and
Yeah.
then he told me like only like a few months ago
Yeah.
to watch that and made out how better it was. And I was
Yeah.
like, yeah, it's not going to be that much
Vastly
better.
different.
And then
Yeah.
I watched it, and literally within the first
So
half an hour,
did they film
it was so
all
much
of
better.
that the first time
All-
round,
yeah.
and then
Almost
that's
all of
just
that was
all
done,
of the
yeah.
stuff that was cut out?
The
It's
only
mainly
bits
they
that
cut the
weren't
face.
filmed were the CGI bits. Anything that was CGI was paid for by HBO after the fact, so that they could release the Zack Snyder version.
yeah, but
But
majority,
all of the conversations, all of the dialogue, all of the sets,
all the
of
shots
produ-
were done.
everything was
Yeah.
done.
They had like
And then
They
they
just
just
cut all
they
of
just
it out for the first
They went,
version.
right, well, we're going to get rid of that, and we're going to put Joss Whedon in, and he's going to make it like the new Marvel version.
he was on about making it into 2 parts. Zack Snyder was.
The thing is, once you've watched that Justice League, Man of Steel becomes better,
Yeah.
Batman versus Superman becomes better. I still have a problem with Batman versus
I,
Superman, because he should not be just randomly killing people throughout the entire movie,
That's
and
fine.
then at the end you go like, and now it's serious that I'm killing someone. Like, motherfucker, you just killed 8 people with the Batmobile in one scene in
Batman.
3 minutes.
You know about Batman?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you can't get
Well,
away
that's
with
why
it.
there was the college humour parodies. It's like,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
don't
yeah.
kill people.
Yeah.
He's just sleeping.
Yeah,
He's like,
exactly.
no,
I
dude,
love
he's
that.
dead.
I think they predate them even, to be fair. They still did them with them existing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm okay with all of that. It's just like the
I saw The Flash as well.
oh, I haven't
Just
seen that yet. I'm going to
literally
watch
So
it.
my husband thinks that the Flash has gone too marvelly.
It has.
It doesn't matter. It's all going to change after this one. The
Yeah.
Flat. I
Well, that's the
haven't
thing,
bothered watching it because I know it's
it's-
going to change now.
It's all going to become kind of the vibe of like Peacemaker and
Yeah,
Guardians
yeah,
of
yeah.
the Galaxy.
But James
It's
Gunn's
James
doing
Gunn
it.
who's in control of it.
He's now the the Kevin Feige.
And I don't want that. I don't want. If there's one thing that
Well, this is why I prefer Marvel over DC, because DC.
For most
I
part.
I like my superhero movies like my sandwiches.
Yeah.
A lot less grit.
Yeah. This is the thing. I love that. I do love that in Marvel, and I really enjoyed that. And for a long time, I thought DC should do the same thing. But if there's one thing that the Zack Snyder version of Justice League taught me when I watched it, it's like, oh, I see what he was going for, and I
Yeah,
wish
yeah,
I'd
yeah.
gotten to see the way that ended, because it would
Yeah,
have been
you
such
built
a
up something good.
vastly different vibe
Yeah, yeah.
of movie to the Marvel stuff.
It would have been
And to
good.
have those two different flavours, to be like, oh, I can dip into the dark and gritty, and I can dip into the fun and light. That would have been so much better. But now it's just going to be bubblegum and bubblegum.
You say that though, but James Gunn is a lot
You know?
darker straight away anyway though.
Oh, he is.
And Marvel, they cover a whole basis. Like they do it perfectly.
They're excellent. But
Yeah,
there's so
like-
much Marvel content now. I can't
Yeah.
keep up with.
But there's so many different versions of it.
Yeah.
You don't need to. That's at least they kind of understand that you don't need to follow everything.
Yeah.
Or that not everybody's going to do that, so they make it so that you don't have to. They kind of explain what you need to know. As long as you just chill and just kind of go into it and watch it, they'll tell you what you need to know. You know.
But can we all agree that Star Wars Rogue One was terrible?
Oh, I love that film.
Oh.
I genuinely love that
it
film.
because it did. Now I noticed that over in China, everyone's like, Rogue One has a lot of ethnic representation.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, okay, cool, excellent, great.
Yeah.
These
I thought it was saying
people
that in a
are
positive
being
way.
appreciated for
Yeah.
their talent.
Yeah.
The problem is it ended like a Chinese movie.
Right.
Everybody died. Because that is how a Chinese movie finishes. You have the hero and the suffering journey, and they don't do. And then they lived happily ever after. They do. And then he graciously died for the cause. And I was watching the end of Rogue One and going like, what the
Just like we
I
always
didn't think
knew.
it was ever going to end any other
Yeah,
way.
we always
No.
knew. That was a prequel, wasn't it? So,
Yeah.
It was a slotted in prequel, and then
Yeah.
everybody died. But then there was one person that managed to get the plans to Leia, and,
Yeah, yeah,
I'll be
yeah.
honest
and then
with
it
you.
slots straight.
They tried
into-
to make it make
Part of
sense.
it was
like,
part of it was just a straight up fan
well, it was episode 3.5.
was a
wasn't
fan
it?
service to just show you how fucking awesome it is to own a Death Star.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, did you
They
see
did it
how
again.
awesome it was to own a Death Star? They're like one chamber. I was sitting in the movie like, yeah, fucking.
What
give
was
me
the
one of
thing
them.
they? What
I
was the,
love it.
what was the thing they made in Force Awakens? The planet.
Oh,
Death
that was
Planet.
that was
It
ridiculous.
was better. It was bigger.
No, because the reason why I didn't like that
hold
is
on,
because
hold
it
on.
just doesn't make sense on a physics level. Because it's like, oh look, over here, here's this thing, and it's going to fire a star across the galaxy to hit a planet that's in that solar system, and that solar system, and that solar system, and that.
Oh yeah,
How did you know you couldn't like that?
arc.
Because it's not. It's
The changing
physics.
arc.
You can't go that far with
You
that.
can't redirect a light by bouncing it off an object that you've just
Yeah.
blown up.
Yeah, it doesn't work. It doesn't
Oh wait,
work.
I don't understand what you're.
It
on
doesn't
about,
work.
okay.
It just
Like,
doesn't.
fan-
So with the
Bouncing
Death
that beam.
Planet,
Yeah.
it fired its laser beam
Yeah.
once,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and it went ping, 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 ping.
Oh,
ping.
okay. So
And
it's
you're
on about
like,
blowing
Yeah,
it apart.
it would have just gone straight through it.
Right, it's on about blowing it apart and also bouncing off
And
it.
also the sheer length, the sheer distance between these fucking objects.
Yeah.
It would be going on for months.
Yeah, it would be like fire the death planet.
Yeah.
Oh, let's just. Okay, they'll be dead in about 3,000 years.
Could be like a
The Empire.
super duper speed, not a speed of light, the speed of space time, whatever that is.
They said technically it's using hyperspace because it's a warped thing. And
Wait, who said this? Star Wars?
Yeah.
Oh, that's Star Wars. I mean,
Yeah.
you know.
I didn't dislike the movie. I did like the movie. In fact, I didn't dislike
Rogue One.
all of those movies.
I disliked it.
I liked a little bit of the last one and I liked a little bit of the second one. The first
I
one was pretty
didn't
good.
like Han Solo's Kylo Ren
Yeah.
being the angsty teenager.
Yeah,
thing.
yeah,
And
yeah.
what was that bit at the fight scene where they reach into their own backs and,
they
pull out lightsabers?
Yeah.
And you're like, what the hell
I
was
have,
that?
I have learnt the force power inventory from computer game.
What the hell? What are we on about here? What one's that?
They literally they hand each other shit through the force power.
Like Kylo's in his bedroom in
Yeah.
in the Death Star, and
They do like a mind thing.
Ren
like,
doesn't
yeah,
it, and
yeah.
passes across a physical object,
Yeah.
and you're like, what?
There's
That's
so
not a
mu-
thing.
In the later films, there's so many things that don't make sense about the Force, like Leia able to fly in space.
Force fucking healing was the biggest one for me. It's like, oh well, so everything's fine then. No one has to die. It's okay.
Which one was who got Force healed, or was that Leia as well?
Luke at the end of fucking Jedi could have just gone, oh Dad, it looks like you're ill. Hang on a second. Ha.
Yeah.
Everything's fine. There you go. Stand up. Oh, nice.
So this
Let's
is
go
why,
get out of here.
as I say, this is why Star Wars is kind of silly, isn't it? Like, it's not very
I mean,
good.
it's no more silly than
You got to think a longer hard
Star
now.
Trek, to be
Oh,
honest.
it's a lot more silly than
As I
Star
said,
Trek.
it's not any more sillier than Rishi Sunak's current foreign ministry policy.
There you go, yeah. Okay, it makes
Let's
more
send
sense
them
than
to
that.
Rwanda. Ta-da!
Have you ever heard that guy talk for long enough? It literally sounds like an automated voice on a phone call.
Well, we
Well,
have
that
an
sounds
AI
racist.
prime minister.
Are you trying to say that an Asian person sounds like it should be on the phone? That sounds racist to me. You made a racism there. You made a racism, you saw
Made
it.
of racism.
We made it.
You made a racism, I heard it.
No.
A bad man.
Oh, sorry. He's about as much use as a chocolate fire guard.
Do you know what's amazing? Like, the amount of things that people are getting, like, annoyed by at the moment. There's some stuff, you know, you obviously should get annoyed by. Some stuff you shouldn't do. One of the things lately that, I get it, but it's kind of just unbelievably silly to even, knowing that I'm going to say this right now is ridiculous. The controversy over the Barbie movie.
Oh god, yeah.
Have you seen it at all?
Yeah. Ben Shapiro was like, "Hey, I don't like the Barbie movies." Like, I don't think it was made for you, man.
Have you seen it at all? Like,
No, I haven't seen the Barbie movie. I know.
No,
I've
not
seen
that.
the hype.
Yeah.
I know it's
Okay.
Margot Robbie, and it's like, oh god,
You've
and it's
seen
a
Barbie
big
Mania,
thing.
yeah.
I've seen Barbie Mania,
was it?
but I didn't realise Ben Shapiro had a problem with it.
Yeah.
A lot of people
Oh, this is
do.
anti-man. This is so anti-man. I'm against this. I'm going to burn Barbie.
Well,
It's
this
like,
is
oh, good for
apparently.
you.
Like, I haven't been listening to Ben Shapiro talk about it because that guy is fucking over the top, man.
He's a
sometimes.
fucking lunatic.
What happened to the guy that claimed chemicals in the water were making the frogs gay?
Oh,
Jones.
Alex Jones.
Is he still a thing?
He's around.
He's with him.
He's
Yeah,
been
he's still
deplatformed
doing Alex
like
Jones.
on YouTube, hasn't he? Still,
Yeah, he's
Oh,
on
right.
YouTube and things like
Because
His
that.
own
it was
channel.
Joe Rogan, Alex Thingamab,
Same as Andrew
shouty,
Tate.
shouty.
Yeah.
Andrew
And
Tate's
Balan-
still
and
deplatformed.
Proto,
Yeah.
Andrew Tate and Alex Jones are still fully deplatformed in YouTube. Like they can't own their own, well, have their own YouTube channel.
Other people can upload their shit.
Yeah. There seem to be channels that aren't through them that upload all the stuff from Twitter onto like YouTube.
Yeah.
Because it is quite interesting to watch, to be fair.
I mean, it's interesting to watch, but at the same time, it's just like, oh my god, you guys.
Yeah, it's funny to see like they're like under house arrest in Romania. It's like a weird version of Big Brother.
Yeah, but
Well, the thing with Andrew Tate is brain's going dead now. He
Extenuates like
extorted.
Extols?
Extols, no.
exhumes.
oh, Yeah, extorts or abuses.
Oh, extorts, yeah.
He basically controls these women and forces them to do horrible things.
Manipulates them.
And manipulates them and then justifies it as if he's right, because that's a butch masculine thing to do.
Do you know how many stories there are about the people actually coming out and complaining about him, though? Of the women actually coming out, any women coming out and complaining about him? There's none. Like, there isn't any.
It's called Stockholm Syndrome.
Yeah, it does happen.
I
When
mean,
you sympathise
like
with your actors.
cam girls.
This is
like,
why domestic abuse is such a horrible thing, because
Well, that's a bit
the
separate.
victims of domestic
I don't know if it
abuse.
is. The fact is, the guy's been in, like, even if
No, so all
even if
cam
the
girls.
first time they came across him and they were like, "We're going to investigate you," and nothing happened of it, that would have been one thing. But
Yeah,
he's been
so-
drawn in like 3 or 4 separate times now.
I don't know, but just in general, though, like, all cam girls, like, is that anyone that's.
No, absolutely not.
That's what I'm saying, is it
Because
just
if they're
Andrew
in
Tate
control
or the
of
other
it
way?
themselves and they're doing like their own thing, that's a different thing. The problem is very much
Like,
still
that's the
to
thing,
do
though,
with
as
like
well,
the pimp
like,
kind
so-
of culture of it all.
No, I'm saying we don't have any evidence that Andrew Tate is doing that compared to just
He's
somebody that
definitely,
owns.
he's definitely being investigated for it. We don't have.
Well,
we don't
by
have
who? By who?
by more government. Like they,
Well, by
they,
the Romanian.
they went and got him again.
The
This is
Romanian-
the third time
Yeah.
they've got the motherfucker.
No,
So
I think
they're
he's been arrested the whole time. Like, he's been there the whole time, really.
No, because he had bail and then he got bail and then he
He
went
was
out.
in prison for ages. Like,
Well, it was a little bit of time. It wasn't as long as.
well, no, I'd say ages. Like, I don't mean years.
Yeah.
Like,
But
But he
regardless,
seems to be setting himself up to be the messiah of all incels.
Yeah.
yeah, he just wants to be famous, and he.
Yeah.
I think
That's
people
all
take
it
it all
is.
too seriously.
Yeah. And
But
the thing is, it's this pathetic thing
And
where
this is
you.
why I don't watch the news.
Yeah.
Luckily, he's not on the news at least.
One of the funniest things about it though is he's always talking about like, oh, if you're a woman, you should keep yourself pure until you find a big, strong, like awesome man
Yeah.
like me. And men, you should be going out and fucking all the chicks in the world that you can get across, because if you don't, you're a pussy. It's like, well, where's the calculation here, man?
And he's a
Because if you're
Muslim.
going around fucking every single chick in the world, and everyone else is going around fucking every single chick in the world, and you still want this one woman to be the pure woman that you're going to marry, that calculation doesn't work.
That's a
There's
temptation,
a
man.
finite amount of women.
That's a temptation, eh? The lady has to ignore it and somehow know you're coming. I don't know how she's known
That is literally just the.
So
you
he-
shouldn't be wearing that.
He seems to believe that the road to success is through fucking.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
perhaps maybe the gays should just bugger Andrew Tate so
Oh,
that we
that-
can all be successful.
Yeah, that's the orifice of success.
Yes.
For what I've seen as well, it doesn't have.
Get dry.
Yeah, I just don't get like the narrative of why like anyone that has like a cam business and
Yeah.
like that's what it must be then. Anyone that has a cam business has to be.
It's whether they have a cam business or
Yeah.
they are putting in front of a camera.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's no evidence though that Andrew Tate has done that, but everyone's assuming.
There's no that it's not that there's no evidence.
There's
it's
nobody's
just
come
that
out and said it.
No,
Like,
they haven't finished the investigation yet. So
They
I'm not
can't
gonna.
say until
Yeah.
they've made
Well, yeah, but
I'm not going to say that Andrew Tate is, an abusive pimp. What
Yeah.
I'm going to say is that he is being investigated for.
why would it take that long if it's a real
Whereas
thing?
what
Oh,
I
because
would-
these
I
kinds
would
of things
say
can take a long time.
that he comes across as an abusive
Comes
pimp.
across as a dickhead.
Yeah,
Like-
yeah.
Yeah, like the only one I've seen that the actual evidence I've seen was him like probably talking down to some woman and that, like being really like shameful and like you could
He's got a superiority complex.
yeah you could imagine it like that, but apparently you don't know if it's true obviously, but he was saying that that's just one of the girls he was with likes being talked down to and shamed in sex.
Yeah.
Now, like as an ex-slag, like honestly, I could see that completely.
I can see
Girl,
that- I
most
can see
girls
that
have got
being a-
weird fucking kinks, man. The majority of them.
I
It's
can
so,
see that being a thing.
Like,
I
I say a
wouldn't say
good
majority.
80%.
No, I wouldn't
I would.
assume.
I would suggest that everyone's individual and we all have our own different kinks, but some kinks are more vanilla than others.
Yeah, the majority doesn't mean everyone. So.
I'm pretty vanilla with my kinks, to be honest.
Oh, I'm full on. I don't want to say chocolate because that sounds wrong.
Just like the feel of Hendrix.
Isn't that a tissue paper?
Empty it into a bucket.
Into a bucket?
Dip me head in, mate.
Oh, God. You ain't vanilla at all, dude. That is not vanilla. They've gone off.
And mean, there's just something so wonderful with doing the reverse cowboy with a tie boy whilst lying underneath some silk sheets.
It doesn't want that.
Sometimes it doesn't have to involve spitting him in the face and calling them names.
Sometimes it can be loving.
Yes, sometimes it can be loving. Human cannibalism.
Yeah, what it is in general, I always feel like it's kind of wrong to assume stuff about someone before even there's any evidence there, before any investigations are done.
We've seen enough stories recently with the Justin Roiland stuff.
Who?
The guy who created Rick and Morty. Everyone was like, that guy beat his wife, and then about a month or two later, after the whole process had been done in court, it's like, yeah, no, he's been acquitted of all charges.
Johnny Depp and Amber Heard.
Yeah. That was
circus.
That really was, man.
Yeah.
Media.
Nobody came out of that the winner.
There are some people who genuinely do get sort of taken out by this unnecessarily. I think that's where that, I think we were talking about earlier, you know, the
thing is we've got these issues over here, and it seems to be
it exists.
Brilliant time to be gay, because we've got Philip Schofield on our team. And
I'll say, to be fair,
Hugh Edwards. That was a strange one. And that was the thing, is he's currently being treated in hospital for mental health
I don't get
conditions.
this. They're hiding him behind the idea of mental health. That's what
Which
they're using
would be
it.
shameful if that is the case.
Well, they're never going to admit it. It would be him more than
I'm pretty
anything.
sure you're going to have a nervous breakdown when you get caught out sending.
But most paedophiles don't get stuff like that.
£35,000 for he paid someone for indecent images.
Yeah.
But it was I'm guessing he paid a man for indecent images.
He was of age, so that's the strange thing. I just realised when I said paedophile, then he wasn't. They was of age. I can't remember the age, so whether it was 19 or 20.
I think he was.
Wasn't morally.
No, I
wise.
think he was a teen, so he was either 18 or 19.
Yeah, he was of age.
Because that's why they then stated there was no criminal.
Oh, well, no, it might be
that's
17,
weird,
because
but
that's of age technically. I think it might be 17.
Oh no, you can't own images of someone who's 17.
Oh no, that's okay. Yeah, so it was definitely legal. Yeah,
You can now.
you can have
This
sex
is
with
what
somebody
caught
who's
out a
16.
lot of LGBT people in the past. You can now have sex at 16, which is the same for straight and heteronormative and homosexual. But you cannot
Send me to you.
watch, appear, or record pornographic material until you're 18.
Yeah.
That is when it fully goes.
Yeah.
So
It's weird that that's the part that's worse. If you got caught out by it, you know, having sex with them part, that's okay. But sending an image of them, that's...
Well,
you know
the thing
what I mean?
is
weird.
Way back when, because I mean, obviously, sex at 16 for heteronormative people was always the case. A lot of LGBT people got arrested in the 70s and 80s, where when it got legalised. I think it was legalised in like 64 or something like that. But
Like the
the age of consent wasn't equal.
Yeah.
Not until like the 90s.
Yeah, so
I could believe that.
if they were under the age of 18, they weren't allowed to have homosexual relations.
I would be
And there was a
surprised
lot
if
of
21 in
police things where they did sting operations where they would send a 17-year-old.
They literally honeypotted people.
Honeypotted, yeah.
Damn.
A lot of LGBT
Government do that
people
constantly.
got caught out with that.
Yeah.
It's entrapment.
Yeah.
They do it constantly.
I mean, I believe also when George Michael got caught in the toilets by
That
a
was
police
entrapment.
officer.
That was
in
actually entrapment, yeah.
I haven't actually heard that story, but it doesn't surprise me at all, because you see it happen with, just general, people anyway. So it doesn't surprise me at all, especially back then, and they'd be targeting gay people. You know, it doesn't surprise me.
Yeah. Well, when I was saying in the Navy, before the year 2000, they would send military police to the gay bars to see if they recognised any sailors. And if they did,
That's
you would
it,
have a meeting with your CEO the next day.
Don't
And
you
if
think
you came out as gay, out you go.
it's a good job that that's changed as well. Don't you think it's kind of crazy that, full stop, that when you join the army, you're kind of binded in by a contract, You know, you should. You
You're
wanted to
bound
go
by
there.
contract, and also it's weird. The relationship you have in the military with your colleagues, it's not like working in an office. It is.
Yeah.
It is almost. It's deeper than family. Because you can trust these people explicitly with your life.
You've been put a trench with them, as I say.
Yeah.
People try to compare it when you've done comedy
But it's not
with
just the
people.
army; it's all armed forces.
Yeah.
Like it's brothers in arms is the phrase, obviously.
So when the shit comes down to it, they're going to try and save your life, or you'll try and save theirs.
Yeah.
They fully trust.
And,
yeah.
I mean, obviously I love my family, but I cannot trust that my dad is going to cover my arse in a hail of bullets. He may be cowering behind the sofa. But I understand my oppo would, and it's weird that you then have that. And it's always so weird because when leaving the military, I don't know what they're like now, but when I left, it was very much, I had a nervous breakdown because I was numerically dyslexic and the data analyst trying to do trigonometry in your head. Ain't going to work. And I made a bad decision, and I tried to continue doing that job, and I burnt myself out. And when I left...
Did you not know when you started doing it then?
When I signed up, no.
Oh,
my mum kept going to the education system, like, this boy's got dyslexia, test him for dyslexia, and they were all like, can't have dyslexia, he's too intelligent. Because they still back then just didn't get, and they also didn't get that, yes, I can read, and yes, I can be articulate, and yes, I can have good vocabulary. I mean, it's not all LongHu, fuck this, I was able to articulate and be this intelligent, but they thought, no, he can't have dyslexia. It turned out what I had was, I think it's technically called dyscalculus, and it's dyscalculus and dysgraphia. So I have hand-eye coordination problems and pattern retention, so I can't remember my times tables. I have to work it out every time. And I have to be able to visualize the math that I'm doing. So when you're doing a trigonometry thing and you have to take 40% of a cosine, and I'm trying to work out what is a cosine. I know it's a line on a graph. I've seen a picture of a cosine. I don't know what it means. I don't know why the line is that shape, and I just couldn't retain that
I could recognise this.
So I ended up burning myself out, and basically in the Navy I had to see a psychiatrist and be treated, and they said, look, the reason you are anxious and depressed is because you're in the submarine service. The cure is not be in the submarine service. So what we're going to say is you're cured, and off you go. And that was how I got released from the Navy. The problem is I wasn't cured because I was institutionalised as a submariner, and I was...
There's not very good help over here in general for like mental health stuff, is there?
Well, it's getting better.
It's getting better.
And now, it's getting better because a lot more people are being aware. When I left this country, mental health was still... I think you had breathing spaces back in 2014, and that was about it. I came back in 2022 and saw two men argue in a pump garden and having the most aggressive counselling session I've ever heard in my life. It was two drunk blokes. One of them obviously was going through some shit, but he didn't want to burden his mate. He says, his friend just said, "You've got to fucking let it out. You've got to let out your feelings. If you don't tell me what's irking you right now, I'm going to slap you." It was the most aggressive mental counselling I've ever seen. But
that's
it was like butch masculine healthcare. You never have had that.
You do see that a lot more. Like, Like I used to go to a boys' school, and like back then even like it wasn't that much of a thing, like the mental health stuff and that.
Okay.
Like I've recently learned that I've got like ADHD and that kind of stuff.
I probably do, but I don't want to add anything more to my anagram.
I'm not gonna like. I don't like a lot of the label stuff. I think like a lot of things is just like humans are very different people. We're all just different kind of things in different ways.
One of the bad things about the label was in the school system, like you said. Like when you got diagnosed as dyslexia, they were just like, and And then it got to a stage where a lot of people apparently in education were like, I can't do this because I'm dyslexic. It's like, no, you can do it. You just have to find a different way to do it.
That runs through all of mental health.
Autistic as well has become a thing like that.
Yeah, it runs through all of mental health conditions.
A lot of people sort of go, well, this is my definition of autistic. They're going to be geeky. They're not going to want to talk to people. They're not going to be very interested in going out. And then, how many comedians do you know who stand up in front of a stage and are very clearly autistic?
Yeah.
Like, obviously, yeah.
It's not what people put in their heads. It's not Sheldon from fucking The Big Bang Theory.
There's also some people that I don't know. I don't
talk about it too much.
Trendiness
I'll say it
of autism, and they're like, well,
they
I can't control my feelings because I'm autistic.
Yeah,
it's like, no, you're just being a prick.
Yeah, some people use it as a trend.
You know what your issue is. You should try and adapt. You shouldn't just go, well, I don't have to change.
Yeah. This is why I don't want to really make any kind of point of these things, because especially in comedies, like people try to use it like in a trend kind of way, as like to get like places in. I don't know if that's why, but it feels like the people sometimes are trying to do that and like use it for like gigs or something, you know.
I think people use it as
to get it or to use on stage, because so many people talk about it as well on stage.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, it's a big thing.
Yeah, that's why I don't like a lot of it myself.
I think it's one of those things where everyone says it, where it's like, I think I probably am on the spectrum somewhere, but I think most people are. That's the thing.
Yeah,
that's why it's a spectrum.
Yeah,
that's why it's a spectrum. Yeah. But I don't know if it's...
People try to like lean on it too much, and it's normally the people who don't need to.
Thing of
well, see, this is the thing where I have to shuffle uncomfortably in my seat, because obviously I lean on being gay quite a lot. That's a big thing in my head.
Yeah, but
I mean...
You were gay in China, first of all. That's really interesting. And a lot of your act talks about that as well.
It's also just personal experience, though, isn't it? I mean, that's essentially what you're doing as a stand-up. It's like, this is my worldview. And there's quite a big chunk of your worldview that's probably built up in that just because of the interactions you've had around.
And I mean, a lot of these comics are going to be talking about their experience. Like, obviously, the people that do have autism are, but...
Yeah. You can...
It's just, I don't know...
Anyone could talk about anything, like I said, but just, you know,
just
sometimes
make it entertaining. That's the thing, you know.
Sometimes when like people are just going on about it too much as well, it's like just chill. It makes it harder then for the people. You know what I mean?
I mean, there's that thing as well. It's like there's so many different. There's like how people approach politics in comedy is always a very big sort of tell.
It's hard to do.
Like I've never really directly sprung at it. I always poke at sort of more societal stuff than any one particular party. But
yeah, people always take it one way though. It's very divisive. I try to not do it.
I think the thing is, if I started trying to do the political stuff, I'd just end up going into a rant about how much I hate it.
Yeah, you definitely would, to be fair.
Yes, but we already have Jonathan Pye, so...
Yeah, exactly. So we don't need another guy like that.
I don't know who that is.
You should.
We need all the people to complain about government possible, man. That's the only way anything will ever change. We are far too chill in this country. That's the problem. He told me.
But as I said with the system earlier,
all
it happens is we'll change it to a different government. Cool, and then there'll be another person saying, "I've got an idea," and the Tories will then go, "Well, that's a shit idea."
Yeah.
And all they do is they argue, and nothing ever gets.
If a party really wanted to, then surely they could, like the Labour Party. I'm not saying they will.
It's not about that. It's not about that. Unfortunately, it's not something that's going to be solved by replacing a political party with another political party. That will help. It's a salve on the wound. You know, getting the Tories out, getting Lib Dems, Labour, basically anyone in at this point.
Captain Buckethead.
Yeah, it would be a fucking great chance. Yeah.
Did you know about his character?
What we need is more a big systematic change. You need to change the way
I've said this all along.
But also, I'd do a really stupid thing if I was Prime Minister.
I like this world. Okay, I'm ready for it.
Right. I would do some really stupid things, like My Minister of Education would be a teacher.
That makes sense.
My Health Minister would
Not.
be either a nurse or a doctor.
Oh,
Or both. Maybe have two, like a Minister and
like
Deputy.
That's ridiculous.
Two
Right?
people
Hedge
working
fund
together.
man.
Farming and agriculture would be a farmer and a fisherman. You know, people that have real experience in these fields. I know it's a stupid idea.
Yeah.
I would also renationalise the everything that is a necessity for human life.
Absolutely.
So you need electricity in your houses for light and heat.
Infrastructure, right.
Yeah.
That would be nationalised. You need fuels to get to places. It would be renationalised. Transport system would be renationalised. The NHS would be because the money you get from your train tickets on a renationalised train system can then be siphoned two ways. One, to upgrade the rail network so it is actually working for a change, and the profit can then go to other government funds like I don't know, the education and NHS.
One problem with that though, people are that's at least for a while that's gonna be make a hit to the salaries that the people are gonna get. People are
Yeah,
going to
but
earn
that's
less.
The salary of who? I mean, the
people working on like
That's
the rail.
workers should still receive their contracted salary.
It's the people.
If these private companies are earning money from the ticket sales,
It's the shareholders who are actually making the money off of it. It's got nothing to do.
Yeah, they want to make a bigger
the
percentage.
shareholders are not going to exist because it will be a national company. It will be owned
Oh,
by
okay.
people.
Okay.
So everyone gets paid probably a little bit more.
If you
and
can
you
do
still
that,
get
yeah.
to shave off the chunk and go, here, have a park.
I mean, there's going to have to be a reorganisation of the NHS to remove all of that dead wood at the top with the admin and the management and the stuff like that. Did you ever watch the TV series Yes Minister?
Yes.
They had that beautiful explanation about how the civil service and the upper echelons of the NHS work. Yeah. And it was an episode where they had a hospital and there were no patients in it and there was no doctors. So the hacker says like, look, we'll close down the hospital. It's like, no, you can't close the hospital because it's providing jobs. It's like, but providing jobs to who? Well, there's the secretaries, the undersecretaries, the PAs, the administrators' secretaries. There was like 300 people working in this hospital, but it wasn't open. Yeah. And the civil service guy is saying like, oh, it's brilliant, it's so efficient, everyone gets that admin done greatly. And it's like, yeah, but you're ploughing money into a hospital that doesn't even have patients.
Like
and they can't afford to open the hospital to patients because they're too busy paying money to the upper admin. And it was ridiculous.
That's crazy.
But you then like, but yeah, that is exactly how it is happening right now.
It feels to me like with the NHS, I've said this before, like it feels like they're purposely trying to let it go as crap as possible.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah, like the same. It'll be the government and the people at the top. The whatever the name of the people are.
It's intentional. It's intentionally being under.
The NHS is currently
to go
under,
privatised.
Well, it's currently under palliative care until it dies, so that then the vultures can come in and hack off bits. Now, I get that
Privatise that shit.
we should have an NHS and private medicine. It's both things.
Yeah.
If you are wealthy and you want your own private suite and you go private.
If you're wealthy enough, take the pressure
as
off.
I said when I did a show with Jim Davidson, that he was saying that he doesn't use the NHS.
Fair.
Not because he's trying to take funds away from the NHS, he's trying to take pressure off of a system that is already in stage 4 terminal.
Yeah.
So
Brexit didn't help
he
as well.
goes private because he can afford to go private to take pressure off the NHS, which is a great thing. But
one person is
the
never enough.
NHS doesn't just need people taking pressure off, it needs investing in with the government to make it work. But the government says they don't have money. Where is the money going? Like, as I said, you get taxed 3 or 4 times on every purchase. You get taxed for the income that you earn. You get taxed on what you buy. You have value-added tax. The person that's selling it then has to pay tax. Their property, there's tax. All of that tax is going to the government pocket.
Yeah.
Where is it ending up?
Well, it's always ending up in the same places it always ends up, which
Government pockets.
is into other private contractors, because it's like, oh, we've got this one little thing we need to fill, and we've got a huge budget we can give you because we know you.
Millennium Dome. I just want to say.
Oh my god, the
Millennium
biggest boondoggle
Dome.
in the fucking world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It wasn't finished for the millennium. It cost £1 billion more than it should have done. Do you know what also happened during that time? The Eden Project down in Cornwall. And that was a group of people that says, we're going to make these biodomes. It's going to cost 1 million people. It'll be ready for the millennium. It cost them £1 million. It was ready for the millennium.
And it's awesome.
Brilliant idea.
Really
I haven't
That's
been,
cool,
but my
yeah.
mum's been, and she says it's absolutely epic.
Yeah.
But the government spent our money, which could have gone into essential private services, to I don't know. And I say, as part of my prime ministership, I would also buy out one supermarket.
And just make it
And I'd make it a nationalised supermarket, because, as I say, I think that the government should provide you with what you need.
Yeah.
If you want luxury, you want better stuff, cool.
Yeah.
You go to Waitrose, you go to Sainsbury's,
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
if you need 2,500 calories a day, there should be an option for you to be able to get that.
Unfortunately, we do have it. Like,
It's
but
called
they're
food
very
banks, and you're
Well,
relying on charity.
not so much that. There's also the company shop. You have to be on different kinds of benefits to have low income to be a member there. But the problem is, though, it's like you said, there's no investment, because one opened up here, and after about like a few months it closed down.
Well, the thing is,
So-
it's not about actually making a difference. It's about looking like you're making a difference. That's
For them,
why. That's why the Tories love it so much. It's like, oh, look at all the food banks we've opened. Yeah, but that's caused by a problem that you have created. And by just going like, look at what we've done. We've fixed it for the poor. It's like all you've done is actually highlight the thing that you've done wrong initially.
Oh, look, a war!
Yeah,
It's constantly being reactive.
I mean, that was
proactive.
Boris's favourite thing as well, wasn't it? Oh, everything's got to be. I'll go to see Zelensky.
Yeah.
Like with the NHS though, that seems to be the problem for me. The problem at the moment. So they need more funding into the NHS in general, don't they? But that's one thing that bothers me about some of the strikes at the moment. If they were striking for that, I'd be all behind them, because that's what they need. They need more workers there. You see it all the time whenever you go up there. But they're striking for more money.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, it's
People that earn over 100 grand a year.
yeah,
striking for more money.
but the thing is, again, they're not just striking for them; they're striking for the other people. It's like the thing with the actors' strike at the moment. There's people like Steve Buscemi striking. Like, Steve Buscemi doesn't have to strike. Steve Buscemi's got all the money in the fucking world. But the reason why he's striking is because there's other people who aren't Steve Buscemi.
Well, yeah, but that's not the same.
By. Now,
Yeah, that's not the same thing in doctors. Though.
No, I
Doctors get
understand
the
that,
same,
but the thing is, like with nurses in particular,
nurses a bit more like. It's weird that it was the junior nurses, because they're the ones that are just starting, haven't even started a job yet, and already complaining.
Yeah, because the thing is,
it didn't sneak up on them.
I've got my girlfriend's sister is a nurse, and she's training at the moment. It is one of the most difficult jobs she's ever had to do. She doesn't get paid any overtime. She just gets paid that fucking salary. That's it.
Well, what's she training?
Yeah, while she's training.
Yeah,
And
there's
also
a lot of
because
training things
they-
like that. The training
because
is
they're
different.
working the
worked.
NHS staff into the ground,
Yeah.
there is
Yeah.
all of this overtime, and it's not optional overtime.
No.
These shifts need filling.
Yeah.
There are not enough
Otherwise people
nurses and
die.
doctors going in,
Yeah, that's
And
because
she's
they're getting
worked-
treated
she's
like
They
crap.
can't force them to do overtime.
They can.
Then
Yeah,
that's what they
legally
should
in their
be
contract
striking
they have.
about then.
Yeah, but that's part
Right.
of it, because she has had to work 14-hour shifts.
Yeah, but that's not like her agreed upon
That's
hours.
not her agreed upon hours, but if she doesn't do that, people die.
Yeah, but I'm saying
So-
they
but-
can't fire her if she just
but
leaves though.
yeah, but they don't have enough people to fix that. So at the
Yeah.
moment, they have to do that work.
That's
So
what I'm
if you're
saying, they
gonna
need
make
more
those-
people.
but
Yeah,
if
exactly.
If you're going to make those people do that work in the meantime, they have to be paid.
Well, yeah, they are.
But they're not.
No,
They're
no,
not
I'm
being
saying,
paid
yeah.
for the overtime.
Yeah. Like, I don't think that's a thing where you can actually fire them if they And if it is, then that's what they should be striking about.
Well, no,
I mean, my dad
But they need more
suggested
people,
something
like you
where
said,
they
that's
just
the root
do
cause.
work to rule, and that's basically you work to the letter of your contract.
Yeah.
And when it is time for you to clock off, because that is when your contract says you should clock off,
Yeah.
then you go.
Yeah, yeah.
But then you're asking people who have dedicated their lives to helping people to say at 5 o'clock, okay, for my own health, I have to not care about these people. And they're not going to do it.
Yeah, yeah.
Nurses and doctors went into these to help and heal. Yes, okay, neurosurgeons earn hundreds of thousands of pounds, but that's because they have got to the level that they can tinker in someone's brain and fix it.
I don't know. So how does any of this mean that they want more money then? Like, because that's not going to help either way.
because again, it still
Because
goes back
hopefully
to...
it's going to get more nurses into the job.
Well, that's what I'm saying. No, they should be striking, but that's a very weird way to go
Yeah, but
about
they,
this.
they still need their
They
money
should be
to
strike.
live.
No, but they need
And-
more budget into the NHS first of all. They,
Yeah, but
they should look at the other
yeah,
ways.
but the
Like,
fact is that that budget exists, and we all know that budget exists.
No,
But
but-
they're not spending it
But
on
they're
the
not spending it
nurses.
on the
They're
nurses.
Well,
They're not
yeah.
spending it on nurses. They're not spending it on teachers. They're not spending it on police officers. They're not spending.
Oh,
it
you
on
mean the money
fire.
exists?
Yeah, all of that
Yeah.
money exists out there, and we could pay those nurses double what they're paid.
but this is what I'm
In
saying.
some countries, they fucking are.
But that's not who they're. hold on, that's not who they're striking to. Though they're striking to the hospitals to pay them more.
Yes, but
They're not paying to the government.
They can't strike
They're not
to the
strike-
government because
They
the
can.
government doesn't employ them. The hospital employs them.
That's a matter of opinion. You can strike to the government.
Yeah, but the thing is, they've made.
They're
again,
striking to the wrong
there's been-
people
there's
for what
this-
they want. Then.
No, the problem is there's been this erosion over what you can and cannot protest about and how you can protest.
Yeah, I don't believe in that.
In the past few years, and for example, you can't protest in the same way that you used to be able to
Yeah.
outside the Houses of Parliament. They just won't let you do it.
Yeah, yeah.
They will move you on.
Screw that. You should just do it though.
But
That's the idea of what
yeah, but
real
that's
protesting.
the problem. Is
Real
like,
protesting shouldn't be worried about what's legal or anything. Like
No,
in the
no,
60s, they
it
weren't
shouldn't be.
worried about what's legal, were
it
they?
shouldn't be,
Like,
but at the same time, these people.
I'm not saying
don't
be
necess-
hateful and be like violent
Yeah,
or
but they
anything
don't
like that.
necessarily want to
or
put
rioting,
themselves into
like,
that kind of harm. The only thing that they've
Just
got
a
as
peaceful
an
protest, like you can do that anywhere.
I get it. But the problem is, if I was in that situation, if I wasn't being paid enough and I was working 14-hour shifts, you goddamn
Well,
right I'd be asking for my
That's a
fucking
bit
money.
different. Like
You're
it's 14-hour shifts. Like
goddamn right I'd be asking.
if your contract only says like that's the weird thing. Whatever your contract says.
No, but again,
But then
it's
if
not
it's
just,
like you're
it's not just
saying-
the contract, because
Yeah,
they are
if you
literally
want
looking
to-
at someone in a bed who's
Yeah.
shit themselves and
Yeah.
they need to, what they
Obviously, but yeah, that doesn't take away from the fact that it's their job, and if their contract's to a certain amount of time, then that's when their contract. They're saying if they're only contracted in for 7
But I
hours,
don't think
but
they're
they say double
striking
the
for
time.
this one issue. They're striking for
Yeah,
multiple
it's all of
issues.
it,
The
yeah.
From what it
NHS
seems, not so much.
is dying.
Their actual reason that they're putting out is they want more money.
Yeah, but
Like,
that's
I haven't
that's because that's what the media is again focusing.
Well, you got to
If
ignore
you
that
actually
and look into it when you actually.
Yeah, but if you do look into it, you can see that they've got loads of different messages on them. Some of them say stuff about how they need safer
The
hospitals.
messages on what?
On their placards.
Oh yeah, but I'm on about like the actual people going to argue with the people and like get
Yeah,
this
but that's
thing.
because that's what
They're,
it's been turned into in the media. Is like this is the conversation we're having because that's the only way that they can turn it into
The union
something
leaders
yeah.
probably are going with like, we need this, we need this, we need this, we need this, we need this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What the media are reporting is they want
This much
3% more
money.
pay.
Yeah.
Well, in fact, they're probably asking for. We want this much money. We would also like, safer standards for our work. We'd also like more regulated healthier breaks.
If
With
I
like
see-
PPE
If I
that's
see-
proper, not
Yeah.
just a plastic.
Yeah, obviously there's
bag.
certain things that you should have like written into your contracts. There's certain events. So that's a whole different thing.
Let's also just look back just a couple of years.
Hold on, you're just assuming though at the same time that
Yeah.
there's all these other things though, like that they're asking for the budget as well. If they are asking for the budget, that's a whole
Oh,
different
they
thing.
are. They are.
I haven't seen
100%
any
they
evidence
are.
of that. Like,
Yeah, no, because
Because that's not being shown.
Yeah, because they don't.
oh,
want
well,
you
they
to
could
see
show it. Like,
because they want you to.
they have
want,
their own like. They have access to the internet too. They can show it.
Yeah, but you can't if you look onto the.
That's what I'm saying. If it is there, like
it is, yeah, it is
Yeah.
there. It is there.
Oh,
He's saying he saw
interesting
it,
thing.
we just haven't. I'm choosing
Oh, do
not
you
to
not
see
as
it.
well? Yeah.
I choose not to see it because ignorance is bliss.
Don't get
I've
me wrong.
never heard about this
Don't get me
before.
wrong,
You're the only
it's not
person
the only
I've
thing they're
known of
talking
it,
about,
but-
and one of the main things they're talking about is getting more pay. But again, I don't think they're wrong to ask for it.
I don't think that's the root cause of the issue, though. That's all.
It's not the root cause of the issue.
Yeah,
the root
it's
cause of the
weird in
issue
vote.
is
But I'm the same with anyone, though. Like the rail people that striked. Not
yeah,
too
but
long
again,
ago.
I told you about that one. That was another one where they eroded it because originally, when rail strikes happened, they literally keep the trains running. They just wouldn't take money from anyone for the tickets.
Oh, where's
They
that?
literally just have one train driver who get in it, do the route,
Yeah. Where's that? though?
and they'd swap it around.
Where's that?
That was everywhere. That
Yeah.
was the way they used to do rail strikes in the UK. And then
Oh, that'd be chill,
the
yeah.
Conservative government
Oh,
came and said,
yeah,
oh, you're not
yeah.
allowed to do that anymore because then you'll be using trains.
Yeah. There was a recent change in the protest.
I don't know if it was actually Tories or whether it was a Labour government, actually, either one. But yeah, either way, they
Yeah,
stopped
the old railway process. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And I mean, but this is the thing is and a lot of the points, a lot of people that are striking, like the police, the lawyers, the things, those jobs that are controlled by the government, their wage increases do not match the increase in cost of living.
Yeah. Well,
And so that's against why the nurses are asking for more money, is because as everything has got more expensive,
yeah.
their wages have not gone up the same rate. So
Which is true.
they're just watching
Yeah.
their quality of life get less.
I mean, it's a very good quality of life, first of all, anyway. As somebody who, they're earning like
They're
28...
doing so much.
No, I know, but if they're earning like 28 banger, like nurses, when they start, junior nurses, the lowest they'll ever earn is 28 grand, and it go up to like 35. Like, growing up in like council houses and stuff, and everything, that's a lot of money.
It is.
Like,
it is.
it's not a small amount
It's
of
not an
money.
insignificant
It may
amount of
seem
money.
like a small amount of money to people in like London and that haven't, that
But I earn 26.
have a bit more money.
I earn £26,000 a year, and I'm not living the life of Riley, and I can't afford to move out. of
Yeah,
my
especially at the
house.
moment, the cost of living is shit right now, but that's the same for everyone as
No,
well.
But
but
also
again,
the
that's-
price of housing
Yeah.
and
That's a
And
type
don't
of
get me
thing.
wrong. Don't get me wrong.
I don't think
It's- I'm
everyone
not
asking
saying-
for money is the
and
way to go
also
about
there's
it.
not enough council houses.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
The fact is, there's no other way around it.
Either way.
Either the cost of things goes down, or everyone gets more money. And I'm not saying that necessarily that the nurses getting more money alone, but everyone should be getting more money.
Yeah, but the problem is that
We should
then
all be
with
being
economies
paid
as
more
well,
than we
though.
are.
With economies as well, though, if that happens,
But
it's
what
just going to
caused
make
the
it worse.
It
economy
actually
to
doesn't.
be
It,
what
it
it
doesn't.
was?
It absolutely
That's
doesn't.
what I'm saying, you
It
go for the
absolutely
root
doesn't, and I'll
cause.
tell you why. And this is again.
It does,
people-
though.
No, it doesn't. It's so obvious. Right. So you've got billionaires there who are earning shitloads of money at the top, earning millions and millions and millions and millions and millions and millions. For example, the CEO of Activision takes home $150 million every single year. $150 million, right? Now, if you divided just if you divide just 50 million of what he earns off and put it onto and just put it onto the rest of the year.
5 past
11 o'clock, yeah.
Oh, wow, okay. 5 past 11.
If you take that
Whenever
money
you
and
wanna
just
go,
divide
like,
it amongst
just-
his guys,
cool.
then suddenly it becomes a shitload of money spread about a lot of people. Everyone gets a little bit of a pay rise, and suddenly everyone's doing better. That money exists. It's in the bank accounts of billionaires and millionaires, and it's stagnating.
Yeah, well-
Now, an economy isn't just having a lot of money. That doesn't make an economy. What makes an economy is money transferring from one place to another over and over and over
It's a
and
circle,
over again.
a cycle.
Yeah,
So
circuit.
if you've got it all just sat in some twat's bank account because he's a billionaire and he's not spending fucking any of it, that doesn't help anyone. If you start taxing
him.
those motherfuckers so that they don't have
They do
that
get
much,
taxed.
they're
Billionaires.
nowhere near enough. Nowhere near enough. Because
Like
if they're
these
still
big
able to get
corporations.
billions and
Oh, no,
billions and
what
billions.
percent do you get taxed?
Oh, it's about 50-60%. But even that is not enough.
You get...
Oh, me? No, I get taxed about 30%.
And how much do billionaires get taxed on their stuff?
About 50 to 60.
So they're already getting like double the tax.
Yeah, but here's the thing, man.
That-
But
For the money that
is
they keep in the
stagnating in their
UK.
bank account,
Yeah, but still
and they
percentage,
can't
though, isn't
use
it?
it.
Like-
They
No one
tax
can
haven
use
it.
it. Yeah,
Send it abroad
it's
to
not getting
Liechtenstein.
taxed. It's not getting taxed. It's not getting anything. It's sat in a.
So it's not getting taxed
No,
then?
no. Absolutely not. It's sat in a fucking offshore bank account. They only tax what they can see, which is
that's-
why they
that's a
keep a
different-
small amount in one place.
That's a different thing. Like
But also, you need to close these down. This is the problem. It's not just one single thing.
that went from like tax evasion to tax evasion.
Yeah, it's both.
Like-
because they're not being taxed enough initially, and then they're hiding more of it. So
The hiding part, yeah,
you're
that's-
losing
that's-
so much money along the way. And more importantly, as I say, an economy only functions when money transfers from one place to another. Them keeping it in one place doesn't help
Have
anyone.
we,
They're private
have we
business, so-
paid back our debt yet from the first recession?
Nowhere near.
No,
Because
no.
this
For
was the other
investor-
thing that confused, and a lot of comics talked about it, is like Greece went bankrupt, so they got bailed out by Germany, and Germany needed money, and England needed money, and we're currently in debt to like £1 trillion or something.
Yeah.
It's like, so who owns our debt?
Yeah, that's the weird thing.
Like, where is this money? It seemed to have got to the stage where money is this
Weird
fictitious
concept.
little thing.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
it's
yeah.
like, we own £3 trillion to somebody,
Yeah.
and somebody else has. So there is at least £3 trillion
Out
worth
there.
of something somewhere.
I assume NATO would be the only thing we could owe it to, because that's the only
I
power.
know
we've got.
a lot of it's actually owed
Well,
to
half
China.
of most
Or
of
different
NATO are countries that are in debt.
Yeah,
And they're all in
exactly.
debt to each other to different. It's,
Yeah, the whole thing,
Yeah.
like a whole thing where
But-
that's kind of what brings them together a lot of the
So
time.
if
Like,
everyone's in debt, who's the one that owns the debt?
exactly, like and why, like
Honestly,
the
it
money
just comes down
becomes
to
a weird.
banks. It is literally just banks.
It becomes a weird, like you said,
And
fictitious
that money
concept.
then needs to go back to the people.
Yeah,
That's
Out
how
of
you
the
fix the planet.
And here's the thing, that I'll just leave it on
I
this
didn't
point.
argue that.
It was
Like-
something that I saw that I liked as just a metaphor. If we saw a chimpanzee living in a forest and it was taking all of the bananas for itself and just constantly shoving them away, and no other monkeys were allowed as many bananas as this one monkey,
Yeah.
you know what would happen? All of the other chimpanzees would rip it to shreds.
yeah.
And why aren't
Chimpanzees-
we ripping these motherfuckers to shreds?
Well, this is it. Chimpanzees, they do actually fight if they believe there's unfair behaviour. I
Yeah,
saw
yeah,
the
yeah.
news, like somebody brought a chimpanzee a birthday cake.
Yeah, yeah.
And they ripped that chimpanzee apart because why
They
does
have-
he get the birthday cake and not us?
Yeah, they have complex emotions, so they have like jealousy as well, like one of the main ones, and they can't deal with that shit.
No.
Like that, and because they have like some of the complex emotions, like they want to go for what hurts you the most. So they go for the eyes, the fingers, the dick.
Yeah.
Like honestly, like
Well,
Yeah.
what we all need, just for 4 years, okay, crazy idea, we need 4 years of autocratic communism. Just to deal with some of the shit. Just 4 years.
Okay.
Autocratic communism. Fuck, we'll even get Xi Jinping to come over for a couple of years.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
like,
yeah.
Xi Jinping, can you come and sort our country out because it's fucked? It's almost as bad as Rwanda. Get them to come over and just sort things out for 4 years and then go back.
you know
Okay.
what? I think we focus so much on the strikes for like the train workers and the nurses and the doctors. Now we forget about the real people that are struggling at the moment that finally took a stand for themselves.
Actors.
The
Stand-up
actors,
comedians.
the actors.
Although
some
to
of
be
them are
fair,
stand-up
I do
comics.
actually get
The
the
writers.
actors one as well. You know, the only thing that I get about it's not the only thing. It's a difficult thing, and if they could get paid more, get them paid more. But
Depends.
depends. There's some shit actors out there.
Well, not that. Well, yeah, we understand that as well. Actually, yeah, it's just
But what I find is really creepy is it's all about the AI shit of it all, because they are.
Oh
literally
yeah, that's what
talking
it is for
about
their one.
Paying
Yeah.
people $150, scanning
that's
their
it.
entire body, and it's like, well, we don't need extras anymore. Go
Yeah.
away.
You mentioned this before, didn't you? The AI about something earlier.
Oh yeah, there was
Your husband
a
or-
Polish radio station
Yeah.
that's recently had an AI broadcaster.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And a lot of DJs last night were like, well, there goes my career.
I
Well,
mean, the thing
I
is,
was-
the woman was literally told as well, you either do this or you don't have a job anymore. You either give us your voice, because it's
likeness
based
and
off of
voice.
an actual person who works at the radio station.
You get like
yeah, okay, just make a digital version of me, I guess.
you get like
otherwise I'm
TikTokers and
fired.
stuff. Like I've seen like very regularly now. I've seen like a Jenna fake Tega coming up a lot.
Really?
Jenna Ortega, well, like a fake AI version. Well, I say a fake, but it looks just like her.
Yeah.
And now she's started every now and then popping up with a miniature Leonardo DiCaprio as well.
Mini Leo.
That's another last thing to ask you about as well. I don't necessarily about last, but I'm assuming.
Yes, because I want food.
Yeah, but like I said, whenever you wanna, like, it's fine. The dwarf stuff, like at the moment with dwarf actors, have you seen any of that?
Oh yeah, George Copland's been on that.
Yeah, he's right.
Yeah.
Like, all the complaints at the moment about the wokeness now saying that Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs is coming out,
Yeah.
and they've taken out the roles of the dwarves.
None of them are dwarves.
Yeah, they're saying it's Snow White and like the seven magical monsters. I don't know if
Yeah.
they have a name or just Snow White the thing, but they have like magical monsters as the things, because it's not okay in a woke place to talk about dwarves anymore. Despite the fact that dwarves are real people, and the dwarf people themselves haven't.
So this is the thing. It's like, why are dwarves called dwarves?
I don't know.
That's the name they're okay with.
Apparently.
But yeah, that's the name they were okay with. That's the name they
Yeah.
give him. But I'm sure that dwarfish people, as the fictitious race, has lasted a lot longer than dwarfism. They just got called it.
Yeah.
So you've got these mythical creatures.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know the history fully or the etymology
That's
of the
more
word
fantasy,
dwarf.
isn't it?
So then erasing these mythical creatures because it's not fair on people. Maybe we
No,
need to.
it's little people. It's not like mythical creatures. We're actually on about like in Snow White, it's little people.
Yeah, but you've got like in the Lord of the Rings, the dwarves.
Yeah,
Yeah, but that's the thing. It's the conflation
The
of the
eyes,
two, isn't
the
it?
Isengard,
Yeah.
the
Because a
Warhammer.
mythological dwarf is very different.
Yeah, it's
to
very different.
George
Yeah.
Copland.
Yeah, it's ignorance. It feels like more than anything. People don't assume it's that. Like, you know, I don't think it's that. I think it's just they're assuming it for them. They wanted to be white knights, like a certain amount of people.
Social
always.
justice warriors, yeah.
And
like I said, I had that person call me a racist.
yeah,
It was someone
Exactly.
they had to be a social justice
Yeah,
warrior.
yeah.
And the thing is like, have you gone to these places? Have you lived? Have you talked to them?
Yeah,
Have you actually asked the people that you're protecting
exactly.
what they want?
I saw a woke comedian arguing about this point with a dwarf actor.
Yeah.
The dwarf actor was, you know, like, no, it's taken away one of our only jobs, and that, you know, one of our only roles were guaranteed normally.
Mm.
And the woke comic, it was all like making out, like saying it's to defend dwarves, and I was like arguing against the dwarf actor. It's crazy,
Yeah.
the logic that they use, man.
Yeah.
It's amazing too for when you watch it. Like, if you can sit there and make Piers Morgan look like the same one,
Yeah.
I mean, that says a lot.
Yeah. It's I think we all need to learn to have a bit of respect, but also
Yeah.
not be so trigger happy and
I think we should just stop using the word woke as well, and,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
you stop using the word Nazi. If someone uses the word Nazi or woke in a conversation, I
Woke
immediately
Nazi.
just start thinking, well,
well, you see, the other day I was walking through a park and I woke a Nazi. I mean,
it was awful.
He was
awful.
just there. He had the SS uniform on. He was in a bush. So
be
sorry if I'm not allowed to tell you that story anymore. In fact, that's it. I'm just.
No, he's gone. Oh Jesus!
Right, imagine if you'd have
That
come.
was catastrophically bad.
Imagine if you'd have. Yeah, he goes to sleep. Imagine if you'd have come across Thingy, Harry, when he was on like his. What was it, the bachelor party?
Yeah.
No, was it his bachelor party when he was dressed as a Nazi? Oh no, you can't.
I think you're just trying to avoid addressing the fact that our guest has left.
Oh, to be fair, yeah. Are you?
That was highly
Yeah.
offensive.
Okay. let's go for a pause.
I'll tell you what, to be fair, I'm going to have to go.
You're going anyway.
What
Okay.
I'll do is, do you want to do plugs quick?
Yeah, go on then, and then we'll catch up.
Yeah.
Right.
So, Post-Apocalyptic Mail Tree has available on Spotify, SoundCloud, YouTube, iTunes, wherever you get your podcasts. That's changed, but fuck it. There's also Adbreaker available on YouTube. Soon there will be Co-op Comedians. That's all available. And sooner or later I will be starting to do live shows again. Until then, check out Post-Apocalyptic Mail Tree. It's the best thing I've done. Carl.
Yo.
Yeah. What are you up to?
Yes. With me, Switch Radio 2 till 3 p.m. every Tuesday. I'll be playing the music and doing the laughs and the funny times.
Nice.
I had somebody invade the studio last week. That was a fun thing. I got rid of them though.
Oh.
I turned into my own security guard. I whooped them.
Nice.
Yeah, it was all good. I've got a new open mic night starting, which by the time this goes out in like a week or so, I should know exactly when, so that'll flash up right here.
Yeah.
Gave myself more work to do again then.
Nice.
That will be, and a cafe bar thing, a quirky cafe right next to the Acox Green train station.
Fair
So it's very easy to get
Fair
to.
enough.
KDcomedy.com and KD Comedy Podcast for all the general stuff. I think that's all of it. Oh, and Wrestling with Egos podcast every Friday too, because wrestling is life and it's the only good sport. Yeah, you heard it. Wrestling is life.
No, I'll give you that.
Yeah. I love my big sweaty men pants.
Lovely.
And you can also find LongHu on TikTok, Instagram, and at the Edinburgh Fringe coming up soon. So find me LongHu.comedian on TikTok. On Instagram, it's comedian_LongHu, and at the Fringe, just look for LongHu in the guide.
Fucking hell, he turned up back again.
Yeah,
It's a Christmas miracle.
that's a fucking showman right there. Like, you know, you're getting off the
I'm
go.
storming out, but I'm still getting the plugs.
Yeah, that's a showman right there.
Well, until next time.
Keep it squishy.
And always be logical.
Boom.